All right. Hey, everybody. We're back to the vinyl collection. Looking through the record shelves. This is, first episode back after a year of doing this. Welcome. Glad to see you. Welcome back. It's good to have you here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. This is the vinyl show where we go through our record collection. We open them up, take a look, see what's inside. We have a good laugh about it. We talk to our friends. Our live chat is open. If you're in the live chat, it's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Eric's in the live chat right now. It's good to see you, sir. Thanks for coming on. Bye. So this has been a year of us going through the record shelves. We're just going through the entire collection. Now, things are getting a little exhausted in the collection, so we've been straying off a little bit, showing other highlights of the varied things we collect. So lots of fun stuff ahead. So check that out. I'm going to start with today when we get to it. I got some tapes I found in the garage today, long lost tapes. That's going to be interesting. And I have a big announcement. A retirement is happening. So I'm going to announce a retirement. That's after we say hello to all of our guests coming back. Coming back, by the way, huge star. He made a huge imprint on anyone who saw his appearance last time on the vinyl show. We got Duke Retro Nonsense back here. Hello,
How's
Duke.
it going?
It's doing awesome now that you're here. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Got Matt Bandy. Got Chris Roberts.
What was with that shimmy in the intro? I don't remember doing that.
I don't know. What was it, Matt? You were
I don't
doing
know
it.
either.
We know what's in the next clip for next week.
Once a week, we'll
I'm
show
okay with
that.
Yeah.
I had to get you twerking. I got that in there. And then you did the shoulder thing too. So there's all kinds of surprises in the vinyl show when you show up for the watch. So thanks everyone for being here. Thanks for everyone for keeping us going for this long. And thanks all you guys in my vinyl panel for being here. Kevin had a big day. He already had a Retro Fandango podcast. You can check that out on YouTube. That's sitting there.
Yes.
Here's a long one. 90 minutes I saw.
That's how we normally go.
Yeah.
We normally
Talking about.
I was like dead on time.
Okay, sure.
It's a short one almost. Sometimes.
Yeah, well, if we go way back, it's
Yeah,
a
I
half
remember
an
it used to
episode.
be. Yeah, I remember when they used to be 3 hours.
Yeah, those were the days.
And these two sitting almost on top of each other, Duke Retro Nonsense and Chris Roberts, are fresh off their latest release of the Retro Nonsense podcast, talking about horror movies.
Yeah.
Which I gave a listen to. Talking about, what did we talk about? Nightmare on Elm Street?
3.
3, right, yeah. And The Thing, John Carpenter.
Great movie.
So that was fun. I told the big kid, I said, I'm going to sit you down, you're going to watch Nightmare on Elm Street 3. Maybe we'll start with the first one. And she's like,
You don't need to. You
I'm not
can
going to
skip right
sit.
to the third one.
She's not going to sit through a movie with me, but maybe.
You got a briber, Bill.
I saw that Nightmare on Elm Street when I was, little, 12 or 10 or something like that. Far too young. I remember that scaring the bejesus out of me. Had to leave the room a few times. But you two had a great chat about it, reminiscing about what's in there and some behind the scenes facts. It was all very, very good.
Thank you.
Matt Bandy, any stories from you? We've been off for a couple weeks. Anything from you that you've been up to?
Nope. Just working.
Good.
Yep.
All right. I don't think you
But,
have the big giant. You don't have the big giant lights in behind you, although I see like a studio light back there.
No, yeah, I'm in the where I've been, but I wanted to get the staircase in the. Didn't want to be the, you be the only one that has stairs in the shot, so I figured.
Very good. Good idea.
So there you go.
All right.
Should we say congratulations to our previous guests and their big announcement?
Oh yeah, that was huge.
Yeah.
Huh?
I'm swooning.
I think this show deserves all the credit.
Why not?
I think it was them together on here that.
What did I miss?
Curtis proposed
Get out
to
of here.
Layla.
How did I miss that?
I don't know.
I don't think he put it on Twitter.
Oh, that's right.
Would
Yeah.
he-
Yeah, I
call
think
you
I
guys
only saw it
individually?
on. Well, no, no. It's on. He had it on Instagram and Facebook.
He mentioned something about him wanting everyone to know except for Duke. So
Yeah,
I didn't want to tell you,
Yeah.
Duke. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah, cat's out of the bag.
Oh,
I
that's
sent
awesome.
them a personal note just to complain that they didn't do it actually on this show because it was so close. Could have happened.
I
Right.
sent them a sarcastic gif on Facebook, so I'm covered.
Yeah, congrats to Curtis and Layla.
Yes.
Finally.
Wonderful.
Yes, I know.
A little beach action too. Proposed on the beach.
Yeah, it's smart because if she says no, you can just jump right in the ocean and swim away.
Done.
Yeah. So yeah, hello to Mrs. Elba Bob is back, one of our biggest supporters. Good to see you on the in the live chat. Right on time. Cool. All right, I guess should we get right into it? Everyone else is bored. First of all, as another callback to last week's episode, I did want to show you guys what was. We alluded to this in Chris Roberts' segment where he showed a tiny trophy. So I thought, I'll show my giant, might be tiny physically, but huge in stature. The Start to Continue podcast of the year trophy.
Wow,
right
that thing
there.
is real. You didn't just make it yourself.
And Kevin held this as he passed it to me.
Yeah, I got to hold it.
And that's something.
So awkward.
It wasn't awkward at all.
You should have dropped it, Kevin. Be like, oh, sorry.
The awkward thing is I'm a fan of the show, so it's
Right.
kind of like, yeah, their show's good too, but well, whatever. What can you do?
Right.
I felt very honored. I couldn't think of anyone better to hand it over to me than Kevin.
What, like maybe Joe?
Please. That's like when Bruce inducted Bob Dylan into the Hall of Fame. Just like that. So as I teased earlier,
Wait a minute. Why am I Bruce?
I guess you're Bruce.
That's still good. I don't
that's
like
pretty
that.
good. You know what, Bruce?
Over Bob Dylan? I wouldn't take Bruce over Bob Dylan.
Okay.
Who do you think has aged better, though?
Oh, well, definitely
Oh,
Bruce.
come
He's got
Yeah.
the better genetics, though. Like,
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Mhm. No one's
So-
arguing that. I'm not going to argue that. Who would win in a fight, though? Bob is famous as training as a boxer for you. That's his hobby is boxing.
I think doesn't Bob have
He
like
doesn't
20
look like
years
he can
on
take a
Bruce?
punch.
I think Bruce is like, he's fought in Jersey, hasn't he? Isn't he from Jersey?
Oh, geez, yeah, I bet.
Yeah,
He's fought.
I bet
He's had to.
Bruce could drop him with one punch. That's it. One
Yeah,
time.
you're probably right.
Yeah.
Bob's tiny too, and full of
So,
cigarette
see,
smoke.
you win, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Okay, you're right.
You're younger. You age better. You can knock him out.
You convinced me.
There it is. Okay, I did tease earlier that today I'll be starting the show with a retirement announcement. There will be a retirement, and you guys are going to witness it. I was going to wear. This is important because I hold these things in very high esteem. So when they go away, it saddens me. But I was going to wear this T-shirt tonight. This Grateful Dead T-shirt with the Teddy Bears on it here. And I thought, as long as I don't stand up, I can get away with the holes.
Oh,
If I don't stand up on camera and get away with it. And then I noticed, like, under the arms.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
you know,
And
Bill, just cut the sleeves off. Sleeveless.
Yeah.
Well,
Go J-Rock.
Guns out, guns out.
What are you going to retire that for? That
Make
is-
it a belly
no.
shirt. Cut the holes off the bottom.
Right.
Get
There's
your
the
belly button
back.
pierced. You'll be all set.
Full Britney Spears.
Look at the back has some cities where they stopped at. It's a great shirt, but man, it is really. You think this is? You can
Oh, you
keep
cut the
this?
sleeves off.
Oh, yeah.
Cut sleeves off. You're good to go, bro.
Just wear a shirt underneath it. Layers.
How old is that?
Long sleeve shirt underneath it. Like make it a winter shirt.
But then the holes you'll be able to see. Like
Yeah,
there's
but if
hole-
there's if you wear a black shirt underneath it, then you won't see.
okay, there
Just
is a
wear some
date
cool-
on it.
Some cool jeans underneath. You're good to go.
Okay, I don't know. I know Matt Bandy could pull it off. I don't think I can pull off. The
Matt
sleeveless.
Bandy's probably pulling it off right now.
Could be.
I mean,
It's got a year
Matt-
on there. It says 93.
oh man, that's vintage. Well,
It's
so what were you gonna
vintage.
do if you retired it? Cut it up and put it in a frame or something?
No, it's garbage.
Oh,
You're gonna throw away that with all that history?
Well, it's not that much history. It's not like
Oh.
Jerry wore it. It's just,
Yeah, but have you had it since '93?
well, all my clothes are from '93. Let's be honest.
Fair enough.
So
that's an heirloom.
Yeah.
One of your daughters might like that.
Yeah, they might want that. They can use it as a.
I want that on camera. You presenting that to your daughter.
see, that would look cool, wouldn't it? A teenage girl wearing that? That would look cool. I can see that.
See,
Miss Elba Bob says no, that it should be she said quilts.
Yeah.
I can donate it to you, Miss Elba Bob, if you want it. Got to move on. So today I was poking around in the garage for some reason. I don't know why I was in there because it's a disaster. But along my workbench on the back, there's shelves back there where all the paint cans are, and ant killer, all that stuff are in these shelves along the back. And there was a stack of nails and screw boxes as well. And I could see poking in behind there saying, hey, I'm here. There's a stack of cassettes back there.
Uh-oh.
What were they
Yeah.
doing behind a box of nails?
I don't know. Like I said, I once found my Lord of the Rings DVD sets in the garage for some reason, like random stuff. Although I do have a cassette and record player set up in my garage, so maybe they were from then. These are old. These are high school age vintage cassettes. So I thought it'd be fun if I brought them out and showed you guys.
These are yours from when you were in high school?
Yeah, these are some of mine.
Okay.
No, they're all mine. And we'll go through them, see what's in here. And I need you guys to help me out. You guys in the panel. One of you to get on Discogs because we have to look up a couple catalog numbers to see what they are. That's later on. We'll go through what we know, what they are.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is, here's some AC/DC, high voltage. So yeah, these were definitely riding in the car with me or the truck. I had a truck back then. Look at these.
Ooh, nice
Look at
and
the
worn.
use.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How hard did you grab those? Jesus.
Man, I
You,
love
you
my
can see
AC.
what side got played more.
Yeah.
Ooh, this guy is missing its cover. That's because it got some heavy use too. Some Highway to Hell. Some garage dust is seeped in on that one. And some Back in Black. Take a look here.
What was the C on the bottom there?
What's that?
What was the C on the bottom?
Oh, right. Oh, well, only the real fans had these cassettes. They are super.
Oh, Columbia?
No,
The Columbia House?
super
Oh,
cassettes.
super
Oh,
cassette.
what's
What is that?
Fancy.
I don't know. It's, look at the date on here is 1980.
9?
No,
Let's
it's,
see.
come on,
80?
focus.
9.
Oh, 80.
Oh.
Yeah, that's
Lead-
when it came out.
Leadspeline Press. This is like French, I guess. And it is Columbia House. Look at that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's Columbia House. This must be out of Montreal though, or Quebec. A lot of French. Well, there's English and French on there. I don't know. Does your guys' cassettes look like this?
I don't know. I got rid of them a long time ago.
Anyways, that's Back in Black. And then I showed the CD. I just picked this up on CD last week. I showed
Nice.
that. It's the Van Morrison cassette I had all these years. Oof, that's.
Bill Condish.
It's
Yeah,
not
having
just
his
records. And yeah, that's Van the Man is in there. It's got the wear as well. This one's got the nice big booklet. Tiny words in there. And then What is this an ad for? Van Morrison, the concert. And I guess you would send away for this concert. Wonder what happens if I mail away.
Well, nothing.
It expires in 1990, Bill.
Bill, I got my Back in Black tape as well. It looks different than yours.
All right.
See.
Variants.
Variant, yeah. You start collecting variants. So-
Wow, yeah. That is way different.
And then the inside here has that.
Yeah, that's way better.
Yeah. But I think it's the same year.
Well, those are just the copyright date.
Right,
That's not when they
right.
were made, right?
Right. And my tape is, I think yours is black. Is that correct? Mine's the clear.
Oh, yeah. And it's Atco. Is mine Atco on here? Mine should be Atlantic. Yeah, I'm Atlantic.
Yeah,
Atco was the Australian.
It says by Atlantic Records on there. Rockefeller Plaza. Yeah. So, yeah. There you go. Variants.
Cool. I'll sell you mine if you're interested. No problem. I'll hook you up. Okay, continuing on the cassettes I found in the garage. Mrs. Q Dog's here. Howdy, Melissa. Thanks for coming by.
Hey, Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
You know, I've been trying to get through these Johnny Cash pickups I've had on the vinyl, and here's a cassette. Giant hits on cassette.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. There you go. This is like Duke's got clear cassette from CBS.
You need to stick a pencil in that and wind up that little slack in there. See the slack?
Yeah. No
I
book
heard a
reading
cool Johnny Cash song on the radio today at work. I don't know if I'd ever heard it before. It might be newer, but it was something about the devil's right hand. It might have been off of the American recordings because there was some guitar work that didn't sound like Johnny Cash playing the guitar. But it was a cool song.
Right. Yeah, that is a good one. All right. Continuing. You guys know about the Guess Who, right?
Yeah.
Best of the Guess Who. And
I had that cassette.
Uh-oh.
these cassettes traveled, people. They were in the truck all the time. Yeah. That's got some strong text on there. Looks really good.
Was it common for your tape cassettes to be black? Because most of ours back in the day were clear or white sometimes.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No. Black is all I remember.
No, we never had black.
Oh, we had a mix here, but most of them were black.
I noticed the ones that were colored here were usually like cassette singles. I have a lot of cassette singles that are black, or the maxi singles.
Snapped right off there. Anyways, okay. Ooh, a donor box here. There is actual cassette. Some more George Thorogood.
Oh, there you go. Nice.
Good destroyers.
Oh, another donor box here. I got some songs remain. The song remains the same. Soundtrack from the film.
Was that a single cassette, or did they have two cassettes for that one?
There should have been two cassettes. I believe there definitely was two cassettes.
That was a double disc, I think.
Okay, here we got a clear. No cover. More Johnny Stash Hall of Fame series. This is the greatest hits business.
You were listening to Johnny Cash when you were in high school?
Classic Cash, yeah. I
I
guess
didn't come on
so.
the info much later. College days.
Okay. Now we're getting into some homemade tapes here. This must have been a rip from a CD. Can anyone name the artist by looking at these titles? Shove It Right In, Dynamo Hum, He's So Gay, Camarillo Brillo, Muffin Man. Nobody? 13?
Mm-mm.
Catholic Girls?
Oh, that's
Moxie Fruvis.
This isn't
Yeah,
your
no, hang
porn
on.
collection?
that's Frank Zappa.
He's so gay.
That's Frank Zappa. Yeah.
Frank Zappa.
Wow.
Yeah, we got some Frank on there from the You Can't Do That on Stage series. My buddy had this on CD, and it was super expensive. I could never get my own because I was super cheap, but I certainly made a copy of my favorite disc. And that's what's on there. Oh, this is just, look at this. Bill's Picks Volume 1.
Volume 1.
Send away nowadays. Call this 1-800 number to get your own Bill's Picks Volume 1.
I'm excited to see what these picks are.
Too bad. If I was smart, I would have put year on this stuff, right? Okay. So it starts off with, I think that says Boogie Bumper. I don't know what that is. But Minnie the Moocher, that's from Blues Brothers. Midnight Rider, Call Letter Blues, that's Bob, Ohio. Shiloh. Yeah, I don't know what that means.
Does it skip during the song, or is that for you to skip?
It probably skipped during the recording, and I was too lazy to fix it.
We'll just write skip on there. Won't offend anyone.
Maybe I ripped this from record. No, I couldn't have. No, back then. Brown Sugar, Bitch, Tomorrow Never Knows, House of the Rising Sun, Last One to Leave. What's that? Last One to Leave. I don't know what that is. Anyone? Last One to Leave?
Oh.
Madonna.
There's some more on the other side. Madonna. There's some Joan Baez shows up there. And
Alex Hall featuring Brad Paisley.
No,
this was your best stuff, Bill.
I don't know. I think it's a good round mix.
This is his picks.
It's got some Neil Diamond, some Bob.
I would avoid that store or whatever, that wreck.
When we get together, Bill's not in charge of the tunes.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, imagine it at the party and Bill's like, I got it. I'm gonna take.
I got my picks here.
Volume 1. This one's just
volume
blank.
2?
I don't know what's on this one. We're getting into some real random stuff here because, like this, I remember this tape because it's super cheap, like Bargain Harold's tape here, and I remember scratching this face into it at some point, but I don't remember what's on it. Curious what's on there. Might be my own personal, singing on there. Don't know. Another blank one. This, someone labeled that for me. Bill's with a question mark.
Yeah, like
another mystery.
Horrible. It's got to be Bill's.
That could be volume 2, folks. Hit that dollar sign on the bottom. Maybe you could. Okay, this is what we need help
playing
with.
Of it.
So, I don't know if you guys did this, but when you got tired of certain tapes or artists, or if you found a tape or something, you would just throw some tape over it and put your own stuff on there.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Never did
Yeah,
that.
but you know what? You should have.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you know what you should have did though is just take a pencil. You could erase that stuff right off, Bill.
The print with the eraser?
Yeah, it comes right off. I used to do that. I would get like old crappy country tapes or something that I didn't like, and I'd erase it, and then.
You don't think the whiteout is classier?
I mean, it's on brand.
Yeah. This I know, like Lou Reed was doing this. Like that's how I know this was cool. So we have to figure out what did I throw away? What did I record over? Is anyone on Discogs?
Oh,
y'all had one job,
right?
I don't even know what this Cogs is.
You got to look up this catalog number right here.
I don't know how you would look up a catalog number.
Just in their search.
What's the number?
78 by Chris Thomas.
78-17964.
CR Columbia Records.
It's In Excess Kick.
Oh, yeah, I had listened to it for a little bit.
That was pretty solid.
That's a good one.
I gave it a chance. I had it.
Well, it goes right now for 63 cents on discounts, Bill.
man.
So you,
And I bet you it goes more than Bill's picks.
You know what this would be worth now with the
Right.
this is provenance right there.
Negative
Whiteout.
42 cents.
I'm surprised
So here-
that worked.
Here we have another one.
What's
All right,
this
let's-
number?
Let's see it.
Focus.
Okay. 836
Your
345-4.
Cowboy Ride.
Does anyone want to guess, or should I just say it?
Well, it starts with a
Starts
B.
with a B.
Boys to Men.
Ooh.
Backstreet
No.
Boys.
Well,
Strike
yeah.
two.
Mrs.
Okay.
Q Dog said
Go
she
ahead.
had-
What do you got?
Is it Boston? Is it Boston?
Oh, he wouldn't race Boston, would he?
well, what's it say at the top here? Is
Guys
it
are
kind of
so
coming
close.
through?
No. I mean, blood. I see something in blood, moon blood. I don't know.
You guys are so close.
I bet I know what it is.
Tell us, Bill.
Is it Bon Jovi?
It is New Jersey,
Oh.
Mm.
going for $1.24 right now.
Big money.
Worth way more now. That's right. Mrs. Q Dog knows. Don't like bands named after cities. So
Except for Chicago for some reason. Just the first album with all their hits.
they weren't called Chicago. They were called Chicago Transit Authority, and that's
That
when they
makes
were
it
good.
better somehow.
Yeah.
They are a completely different band somehow
No one knew who they were because they were so progressive at the time.
with all their hits on there.
All
Big
right,
radio.
so that is my vinyl adjacent, my start for the presentation. I can pass it on to our returning special guest, Duke, who is here. Did you
All
go
right.
back to your store?
Yes, a couple times. I can't stay away.
That
It's
store looks cool,
fantastic.
man.
It's a gold mine, I'm telling you. I took Tara there once and the kids there once. Yeah, it's my new hot spot for sure.
Is it a popular spot? Like, do a lot of people go there? Or is it kind of untapped?
No, it's like a kind of like you got to hear about it kind of place. I mean, every time I've been in there, there's been like one or two people in there. The guy is so cool though, and it's in the town I grew up in, so it's just cool. I love it. So I'm really happy to have found it for sure. So all right, well I'll get started. So all these I did get, I think, for the most part from that place. First, I found yet another Use Your Illusion CD that I didn't have yet.
Jeez.
This is Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, and Use Your Illusions, all wrapped into one called Use Your Illusions.
Oh my goodness. I've never even heard of these variants. Like,
That is so cool, man.
are you
That's a
making
joke.
these up, dude?
That's a joke.
Okay, I was gonna
Oh,
say,
man, that's
what is going on here?
There's only 3, okay? Or actually, there's 4. There's Use Your Illusion 1, Use Your Illusion 2, Use Your Illusions, and then there's the double disc set. But anyway, that was my little bit. Okay, I'll really start with
He brought material.
any Queensryche
Right,
fans.
Not
I
here,
had-
but they're out there.
So I had this back in the day when I was a young man. Listened to the whole thing again. Didn't really hold up for me. I just came across as kind of dated. I don't know. I like my lyrics a little more poetic and vague, and this guy writes like a political, speech and turns it into an album. It's just, and this one in particular, I remember being like enamored by this and thinking it was so cool because in between every song, there's like these clips, and almost like movie clips from like a horror movie or something. They're trying to tell this like story, and they're like well produced, like in a sound studio type clips that he did just for the album. But it's just corny now, and it's trying to be all heady and deep, I think, and it just doesn't work for me anymore. It probably did when I was 16 years old, or 15 or whatever it was. This came out in looks like 88. So
Wow,
yeah.
they were around that long?
Yeah, they have records out before that. It's definitely
This is one of
heavier.
their.
It's
Yeah. So
more like
okay,
traditional
it's-
metal.
It's decent. I listened to it a lot because I remembered every song when I listened to it. So brought back memories. But I think just like I was mentioning last time with Skid Row, I feel he's known for his powerful vocals. I don't know the guy's name, the lead singer, but
Tate,
I think that's
Tate.
what's that?
Tate, I think his name is.
Let's see here.
By
Maybe
Duke's
so, yeah.
description, I think it's Bill Maher.
But it's just funny now as an adult listening to Jeff Tate.
Jeff Tate. There you go.
Listening to some of these lyrics that are trying to be all like serious and stuff, and it just sounds silly. Like these, for a revolution, and they're anti this and anti that, and I don't know. It's just kind of shut up.
What was the main track off of that? Wasn't there like kind of
Operation Mindcrime? I think was the big. That's the name of the CD, and I think that was the big hit. Let's see what else. Anarchy X, Remember Now, Operation Mindcrime, Speak, Spreading the Disease, The Mission, Sweet Sister Mary. I think might have been like a radio play one.
I'm pretty sure that's a concept album too.
Meaning what?
Like all the songs tell one story.
Yeah.
Story.
And again, even more so with all those clips in between. It's really kind of strange. It just comes off as dated to me and kind of annoying. I don't know. But okay. I had it when I was a kid, so it's cool to have back. All right, another CD here. Kings of Leon. Absolutely love this band. Probably my favorite modern, if you want to call it that, modern band. And this was their first one that I discovered, because it had this is when they kind of broke out and had Use Somebody and Sex on Fire. You guys familiar with Kings of Leon, their songs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have since delved into their entire, library, and I just am such a huge fan of them. I love their sound. I love his voice. They got like a southern rock kind of thing going. Great songwriters. They're a family. They all have the same last name. I think one of them's a cousin, and 3 of them are brothers, I think. But this is solid from start to finish. There's like one stinker on here. I think 17. I don't care for too much. But this is a fantastic album. There's a really good documentary, too, about them called Tequila Sunrise. Even if you guys don't like the band or not, it's a really, really well done documentary about them coming up to fame into this album here. And it shows them being like hillbillies and has their family and everything. It's really interesting. You guys should check it out. Good stuff. All right. This is probably my favorite. This might be my favorite album of all time. Love Radiohead. Absolutely love this album. This came out in 97. Okay, so this has like sci-fi vibes, and this is when they kind of broke away from their 90s kind of alternative. Well, I guess they're alternative altogether, but this was like the beginning of their new sound. And it's kind of a mix of electronic kind of sounds and just interesting, like kind of experimental type stuff. And their earlier 90s stuff was more like just acoustic kind of normal stuff. And then from here, they went on to do Kid A and In Rainbows and Hail to the Thief and all those kind of experimental type. And I this is one of those bands where I actually like their newer stuff better than their older stuff. But this one in particular is absolutely fantastic. I love this album. Again, it's one of those ones where every single song is a hit for me. Anybody familiar with this one?
Yeah, I know that one quite a bit. I had a roommate in college who was really, really into Radiohead, but I listened to that a bit when I was in high school, because that got some. I remember the videos for like Paranoid Android. I think. Yeah, it was like cartoon. It was really kind of weird, but that Karma Police song is great. Yeah, and that's a cool record.
I love it. Yeah,
they lost me after that. It got way too weird for me.
Some of them, I think Kid A was a little bit of it fell off a little bit for me, but then they came back with In Rainbows and Hail to the Thief, and those were both fantastic.
What was they didn't have a record where they were separate, but if you played them at the same time, it was also another like a composition too?
Well, they had Kid A was a double release. There was another album, I think it was called Amnesiac, I think, and they kind of came out at the same time or right after each other. So they were kind of like the same one album, just in 2 separate releases, I believe.
I swear, I thought there was one where you played both records. You started them at the same time, and
I have never done that.
And that kind of blew my mind. I don't know. I have to check it out.
I'm not familiar with that. If that's the case, I got to check that out. No, it's not Mother Brain. Fake Plastic Trees is not on OK Computer. That's on The Bends, I believe, which is one of their earlier albums. But anyway, love that album. All right, now we're on to some 90s grunge and alternative stuff. The Pearl Jam, this was their first release here. Very nostalgic to me. Again, I think I mentioned this before. This, along with the Black Album, was one of those ones that came out the same year I started dating Tara. So this is another one of those albums that's solid from beginning to end. I want to kind of bring these up together here. Then I got this Counting Crows one. Remembering this is their second release after August and Everything After. Any Counting Crows fans out there, guys?
I'm a
No.
little bit of a guilty pleasure man for
Yeah.
me. So yeah.
All right, so I just recently listened to this one again, and also this, and I've been kind of, it's been interesting. I've been revisiting a lot of my music from my youth, my like earlier years, like 12 to I guess like 14, 15, which was like the 80s stuff, and then also the 90s stuff, which was my adolescence, my teenage years. And it's been interesting to kind of analyze the differences. I find that I'm not connecting with the 90s stuff as much as I am with the 80s stuff. The 80s has like a thread of like anger and rebellion in the rock, and the 90s switches to sadness. And the adult in me, the father in me, wants to smack the 90s in the back of the head and just say, man up, stop whining, get over yourself. And it's just kind of annoying. All the poor me kind of tone you get in the grunge and I don't know. It just comes off as annoying to me these days. Even with albums like this, which I love, it just has that kind of like whiny. I don't know. You guys get me?
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Totally.
Absolutely.
I never even liked it then. I was totally.
I'm finding myself
none of it
annoyed
spoke
by
to me.
it. Yeah. Even
Like,
like
I remember like everyone was buying Pearl Jam and Nirvana and whatnot, and I was getting like Van Halen 1984. I just wanted to have fun and party.
Stuck with it, yeah. Well, I'm relating to that more now. I'm listening to Guns N' Roses and Metallica, and I'm like, yeah, there's the confidence and the, I guess the fun. And this just is like poor me, kind of like even like the Counting Crows. He's just like sad and whiny, and I don't like it, especially the first one. I mean, it's good stuff, but just the overall kind of tone of the 90s rock, it just lost something. Yeah.
You can understand a song, maybe an album, but every single one of their songs is about how terrible life is. Like, come on, you're a friggin' rock star.
Yeah, and there are some that didn't do that. Like I think of a band like Alice in Chains. They were like a 90s Seattle grunge band, but they kind of had that rock edge. I like them.
They kind of got lumped in with the same with Soundgarden. Them and Alice in Chains got lumped in with the grunge.
Yeah,
they were a little bit. They were different. They were really considered the grunge, even though they marketed them as that because
they had plaid shirts.
Yeah,
I mean,
they were because they were from Seattle. They were from the
right.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right.
Well, if you remember, like there was that grunge scene, and that was grunge music. But then, like the record industry really didn't know what to do with like Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Yeah.
Who didn't really
everything became alternative. It was
right,
just like,
exactly. So then they came up with
all
alternative and alternative to what, But I do understand like why they went in that direction, why it was popular. Because if you look at a lot of the 80s stuff that was sold on MTV, a lot of it was just excess. If you watch The Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, that documentary, it's just a bunch of bands out of LA who want to be the next David Lee Roth, and that whole Seattle grunge movement was just the polar opposite of that. So it's kind of like the pendulum swung that way, for a good 10 years before it found balance.
Yeah. Well, the art follows the culture. And I think the youth of the 90s just had a much different experience. The 80s kids were raised by Vietnam parents, and just a whole different kind of, the angst was different. We were more angry and more rebellious. And then you get into the 90s and we're just depressed and sad, I guess. I don't know.
That was Generation X, right? Our generation was the first generation where you were not going to do better financially than your parents, in a long time. Like everyone was like, no, you just go to college, you get a degree, and your dad had to work the graveyard shift at the factory. You were going to get like a job with computers or something like that, and that was the whole American dream of the 80s. And then in the 90s, everyone realized there was that recession in the early 90s, and
Yeah.
I realized that it wasn't going to be that easy. It wasn't going to be like that. You know, it was going to be different for us. So
Yeah. And our generation stayed at home longer and lived with their parents longer. So you got
well, I didn't. I got kicked out of the house at 18. Get out of there.
Either, but a lot of my peers did. But it was just a whole different, I guess. I had different reason to write, different tone. But it's so interesting when you go back to it and listen. I'm listening to 80s, 90s kind of at the same time. It's subtle, but it's also drastic. It's like right at 90, it just switched.
It was Kurt Cobain, man. That one album that really just changed everything. It was like what I can't remember what documentary I was watching, but they were talking about I think it was Capitol Records, where you went in and it was Poison was like the big, they had like a big cardboard cutout of all of them when you walked in, and it was all like these 80s bands and that. And then the next month they were all trashed, and it was all just the grunge scene. All thrown in a month, Yeah.
So yeah, it's been really fun to kind of go back and like a band like Radiohead, kind of it's so strange. They're so unique, I think, that they escape from those, I think, tropes or whatever you want to call it. They don't really have either one. They're kind of their own thing.
Yeah, they were doing their own thing. They weren't an imitator. There was the imitators are pretty much gone, forgotten about.
Yeah. But I mean, I have a lot of respect for Pearl Jam, especially. I think Eddie Vedder is a great musician and songwriter, and I have respect for him. They seem to be like they never sold out to me. They kind of stuck to their roots, and I have respect for them. But going back to even this 10 album. It's great again, but it just has that. And it was so funny. Bobby was, I had let Bobby listen to Jeremy, which is one of my favorite tracks off of 10. I love that song. And when it ended, he was like, oh my gosh, it sounded so much like Dave Matthews. And I was like, what? But to him, who doesn't listen to 90s music, it had the same kind of sound as what I would consider something that sounds completely different, but he still heard that something that was similar. And now that I'm going back and listening to there is this like similar sound and tone, and it's just so interesting how you can really pick up on that, and he did right away. Because I don't think Pearl Jam and Dave Matthews sound anything alike, but he was like, oh my gosh, yes, they were. I thought it was Dave Matthews, not vocally, but just, I guess to him it sounded very similar. Another 90s band, So, well, that's all I had for my final with Jason, I think. Yeah, we'll stop there.
Geez, Mr. Orange in the chat is loving Duke's picks.
Yeah,
loves
he does
Radiohead.
have an amazing voice, yeah.
Good Bobby impression too, Duke. That's good. We were looking forward to having him back. He was busy today.
Yeah, he's at a dance actually.
Oh,
yeah. I'd miss this for a dance. Sure.
The stuff I got up to at the high school dances, let me tell you.
You should really wear his battle vest when he's not on the show.
I couldn't button it up under that much.
Well, you can drape it.
Yeah.
Fun fact, at Bill's high school dances, he was wearing that Grateful Dead shirt.
Yeah.
Could have been. No, I wasn't that cool in high school. That would have been something else. No one would have known what that shirt was at my high school either. But yeah, there was chugging 2 liters of Canada Cooler before the going in the door, though. That happened for sure. Clunk, 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 clunk.
Canada
Drink
Cooler.
That's got to be in the. Yeah, you got to isolate that. That's great. You chugging some Canadian dude or whatever that was.
That's already.
What is Canada Cooler?
Canada Cooler was a super cheap wine cooler you get back in the day. Came in 2 liters. For some reason, that's what my buddies
would get. 2-liter wine cooler?
Yeah. And they'd be like, here, just chug this before the dance. It's like, oh my God.
Do they still make wine coolers? That was like the biggest thing in the 90s. Everyone had wine coolers.
You know what? I tell you, I that's interesting that you say that. I was in Save Mart yesterday. It's just a grocery chain down here. And they had Barlin's and James. Remember that was kind of like a big one? Yeah, and it was in a can, though. I was like, dude.
Oh, wow.
Why don't you have it in the retro bottles? Who the hell wants to drink a wine cooler out of a little can? But
yeah. I mean, that's big business now. All these spritzers and wine coolers.
The seltzers became a big thing. Yeah, that became a big thing. I think that's kind of phasing out a little bit. Yeah, it's probably trying to trick you.
Zima was big in the late 90s, I
Zima.
guess, or 90s. Yeah, I
Yeah,
never
I
drank,
know.
but it was with. I noticed those bottles at the beach all the time and stuff. The Zima.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kevin's right though. It probably is not wine-based coolers anymore. That was probably a short-lived thing.
Yeah.
Could be wrong.
Yeah.
Champagne Coolie. Mrs. Q Dog remembers Zima. I bet you she's got some stories. Oh, boy. All righty, Matt Bandy is up next. What'd you bring for us for your vinyl adjacent?
You know what? I got it worked out perfectly. I got 2 packages in the mail today.
Oh.
Mail call.
It was great. Yeah, and I didn't even open them. It was hard because one of them, this guy's been was ordered back in late 2020, but I'll get to that when we open this. This I ordered either the beginning of the week or actually, yeah, I think I ordered this on Monday. So this came from somewhere up in Oregon. So go ahead and open it here.
That's fast.
Yeah, well, it's not that far away.
Hit the likes, hit the subscribes. We got an opening live on camera here.
What's it gonna be?
It's pretty thin.
It is kind of thin.
Book.
No books.
Not a book?
Not a book. No.
Oh.
Got a CD here.
Oh.
And a couple other things. A couple stickers. Got a patch. And 2 pins.
Is that patch going to go on your vest?
Oh yeah, it'll go on a vest.
That's vest worthy. Oh, okay, new vest.
I new vest. Yeah.
I was gonna say there's
So
no room
I'm
on his
actually-
other vest.
I'm actually wearing the shirt of
I saw
this
that.
band that I ordered here. So I've talked about this band on here before. Holder is the name of the band. It is a black metal band. She's originally from Belgium, but now lives somewhere in the Pacific Northwest. And this was an EP, I believe, that came out last year. Oh no, it's not actually an EP. It's a collection of an EP and maybe one of her demo releases. This was out of press for a while, but then just got re-released. Or
What's she doing? Some Wing Chun on there.
She's holding up the.
Oh, in Holder
Doing the-
pose.
Matt,
Doing the pose.
you said black
Doing the
metal.
pose. Yeah, this is a black metal band.
So death metal is the one where you can't really hear what they're saying, like the growling, right?
Death metal is more guttural vocals, different guitar riffs.
So I don't. What's the difference between that and black metal? What's black metal?
Black metal is without going full bandy. It's
Sorry, guys.
It's okay.
no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. Big difference between black metal, death metal. Black metal is more atmospheric, more stripped down and simple.
Okay.
And
Okay.
vocals tend to be more less guttural, more kind of shrieky, high shrilly type.
Okay.
Depends.
Okay. Just
yeah.
curious.
And we got a shot of the artist here. She plays all the instruments. She plays all the instruments except for drums. She does not do the drums.
Our jazz fan in the chat is jokingly saying Holder sucks.
Oh, that's too bad.
There's probably some jazz influence in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, she writes cool riffs.
Good night, Mrs. Q. Dinner
Night.
time. She'll be back. Come on. They're coming back.
Well,
Yeah, so this
We'll
collects the first 5 tracks are from a rehearsal. So from one of her demos, and the there's 3 releases on this. So, and her latest record is getting some quite a bit of buzz in the underground heavy metal scene.
That's a Bandcamp pickup?
Yeah, this was from her Bandcamp. And then, so that came with 2 pins that I ordered, which is her logo. And she threw in some stickers. These were freebies Got a patch. So this is from the our latest record.
Cool.
And there you go. So yeah, I missed out. This one sold out relatively quick, I think, when it was first released. So yeah, glad that I was able to pick this up. There you go.
There's one. We don't get to see you open the other one?
Oh no, that's. I'll come back to
That's
that.
later?
Unless you think do we have time to go back? This one might be. This one might take some time.
Whoa.
So
Okay.
We'll
stay
quickly
tuned
get
for
around.
that,
Well,
folks.
Bill took 30 minutes on his childhood cassette, so
oh,
I mean, like,
Don't worry. We'll get back to him. No big
All right.
deal. By the way, I always take the shortest segments. Playing about me. Come on. Chris Roberts. You're up. Hey, did you see that big pickup I got this week?
yeah,
An old monitor.
that was pretty cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I
From
didn't
the
realize
guy.
that was a pickup. I thought you were just showing some of your stuff, but that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. So it was garbage fine.
does the Commodore work? Or the Commodore monitor work?
I mean, it powered up. I can't test it. It takes specific hookups. So
Those
I don't
Commodore
know.
monitors are sought after. That's a good
Yeah,
find.
I have a Commodore monitor that's I found for cheap, but I think it's got like a little spot. Like I think it might need a recapping or whatever. But I mean, other than that, it looks pretty good. I mean, it was free, so I wasn't complaining.
For a Commodore 64?
Yep.
Yeah.
I have a Commodore 64.
Well, you need this monitor.
You're needing a monitor? Is that what you're? Well,
No, I was offering to test out his monitor if you wanted.
oh, I see.
Oh,
Test it out.
I hope to
You can
flip
hook up
that
other
immediately.
systems too to that, right? Can't you?
Yeah, you can hook anything up to the monitor that I have. Yeah.
It's
I don't
got
know
weird
about Bill's
hookups on
monitor.
the back.
Well, not the one I got. It had AV.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's got very specific. I thought.
I mean, it
must
had
be-
other hookups, but it also had AV because they were marketed as like a monitor for other things. I
Right.
imagine.
Yeah, I've seen them in other applications too. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in theory you could even use it as a television if you were able to work the
Yeah.
signal like a cable box or whatever.
It was super dusty and whatever, and it looked great. And as I was pulling it out of the bin, snap! The
Oh,
little
you broke the
tray
cord?
on the front, the pull-down door on the front snapped off. Ow!
Hey, what do you
Anyways,
guys? You're not going to sell that on eBay, right? That's like crazy to ship.
I hope I get a local sale on that. I
Yeah.
don't know how I'm going to ship that thing. It's heavy as it's a monster.
Let me ask the eBay experts here. What do you guys think? I don't know if it's happened in the States, but here I got a thing anyways that they got rid of PayPal, and now they put the money directly into.
Yeah, see,
bank
I've been lazy about it, and I haven't. PayPal, they didn't necessarily get rid of it, but you can't use that. You have to have managed payments, so someone could still pay for something with PayPal, but they also have to have the option of paying with other things. You just cannot receive your money into PayPal. It has to go directly into your bank.
Right.
So
yeah.
I was been a little reluctant on it. I still have friends that are selling just fine. So I'm going to probably give in soon because I have a nice stack of stuff to go out. But I didn't like the thought is because, if they could put it in, they could pull it out.
Yeah. Well, that's
Yeah.
what they do.
And I don't like that.
Me
So
neither.
I thought about just opening up a second checking account and just using that checking account. I just been lazy. I honestly didn't even lazy. I really just haven't had the time. But somebody told me the other day, why don't you just do it over the phone? And I thought, I didn't even think of that as an option. But maybe with COVID, they'll let me open up a second account over the phone. So I'm going to probably have to do that because I just don't like the thought of them having access to my checking account.
You can open another account online. Just log into your bank.
Yeah.
I've done that.
I don't know. You know what, Bill? You're probably right. And I haven't been motivated enough. The money's been fine and the pile is fine over there and it could just sit there. And
They
it's not
haven't
going to get
switched
any
me.
cheaper.
I'm still on PayPal. I haven't even gotten the letter to say that the switch is
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why you haven't, but in the States, they started rolling out like these mild threats around last, I don't know, September, October, something like that. Might have been a little bit before that, but basically like, hey, get switched over. You're only going to have a few more months. And then it's like, hey, we extended it another month. You got to get switched over. And then it was like, you got 2 weeks or you're not going to be able to sell no more. And then it was like, hey, you can still sell whatever you have listed, but that's it. And I was like, okay, well, I guess I'll worry about that when I get desperate enough.
I haven't gotten any of that yet.
Wow. I got, like, you got to switch over, man.
Yeah.
You're not going to get paid.
Yeah. It's going to be everybody because what they're trying to, this is the main goal for them. They cutting out PayPal, and initially it was like, oh, it's going to be cheaper for you. And then it's not cheaper at all. They're taking the exact same amount of fees. They just up their eBay fees to match what you were already paying. And I've heard some people complain saying they actually even took a little bit more. So, I don't know. Big F you to their sellers from PayPal. From eBay.
It is nice, though, not like to get rid of that extra layer of, like, when you have a problem, like sometimes they would pass the buck on to PayPal. Sometimes
I will give you the counter to that. It opens up other problems, though. Okay, so when it was just PayPal and you're like, I don't accept any other forms, only PayPal, you only had to deal with eBay and PayPal.
Right.
And that was it. And there was a structure to it. Now they could just call their credit card company and say, oh, no, that's a fraudulent charge. And they'll stop. And I've had that happen. Eventually, PayPal fought it and got me my money back. But it was held up for like 2 months.
Actually, you're right. I think I talked about that where I had something like that happen a couple of weeks ago. And PayPal investigated it and said, this guy just is looking for
they're stealing. So the thing is, you have the option of limit. You can always cancel a sale. So you can look at the seller's feedback and just say, you know what, I'm not going to risk it, and just cancel the sale. They can't really do anything against you. They could try to put a negative feedback. You can call eBay and have it take it back, or you could just say, fuck it. Who cares? Because most people don't even care no more. If there's something you want, as long as there's not like this huge history of screwing people over, people are going to buy it if the price is right. So
right.
I would just pick and choose who buys your stuff.
I do all the time.
I've never cared before because there's always been that assurance that they really have to have something against you to do it. Now, with this whole, I could just call my bank and tell them, no, that's a fraudulent charge.
I've had a $300 item up on eBay, and someone with no feedback at all is like, and they just joined eBay like 2 days ago is looking to buy something for $300. I'm like, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's a little riskier. I mean, usually if it's a smaller thing, everybody starts at zero at some point.
Yeah, like
so
if it's
I kind of know what you're saying. Yeah, but a $300 with a zero feedback, I'd be a little nervous about that one too.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Well, as far as me goes, I haven't gotten no music this week. I've been working crazy. I had like 1 day off, but I did find a couple of, adjacent, because I'm sure there's music on these tapes somewhere. But this was actually in my garage, though. I just wanted to show it because, God, this guy looks like a pervert, don't he? You ever watch Escape from? Look at, he's got the little kid, and then he's got the perv van.
That's right.
I just don't know what's going on here. I don't like it, but I remember liking this movie as a kid. Yeah,
I watched that not too long ago.
Look, he's all, hey, let's go swimming, kids. Yeah. I think they redid it with Lindsay Lohan, maybe, or maybe they did it again. I thought they 90s or early 2000s or something. I don't know. Yeah, I did too. I haven't seen it since a kid, so
I don't know. I've seen that.
I just like the look of it. It's just like real vintage looking, and
it is shot. It looks so like after school specialish.
I can't wait to check it out.
Something else.
And even look how janky the label is. It's like, hello Disney, did you not know how these were supposed to fit on there? but they all did it. Like I got a couple other ones. Like I got a Pizza Dragon, a couple other ones from the same. Like it has the same look. So it must be from like the same year, I guess. But they all have this shitty label. I'm like, dude, no, where was the quality control at Disney? But,
It's so funny trying to explain to kids who grew up on the Pixar movies how budget Disney was back in the day.
Yeah.
Like all their movies were like B movies.
Yep. But they felt like something at the time. It's so weird. Some of them are very dated though when you go back, but I don't know. Anyway, so they did have a bunch of VHS there. Nothing real special. I did find a couple of things. It was $5 for $1, so I just grabbed a bunch of crap. But these are always good to do the flip whenever I get back to selling. This will go for $4 or $5, I'm sure. And Manhunter, this is the prequel.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was the original, not really a prequel, but this was the first Hannibal Lecter movie. Pretty decent. It is weird to see somebody else play Hannibal Lecter. It is a trip.
You're saying that came out before?
Yeah,
Silence of the Lambs?
this came out before Silence of the Lambs.
Oh,
They kind of redid this movie, but they called it Red Dragon.
yeah.
I don't think it's the same. It's not the. Honestly, I haven't watched this in a very long time, but
It's the same.
But they did some other scenes and they added some different stuff to it.
Well, the book was called Red Dragon,
Right?
and that movie's based on Red Dragon and
Yes.
the other.
Right. So I'm sure there's some overlap there, but for the most part, I think I preferred Red Dragon. But I was also a fan of the actor at the time. I can't even think of his name right now. Then this was kind of timely. This will be another easy kind of sell out of convention or something. Some noob in LA. He'll give me $5 for that, I'm sure. And then speaking of noobs from LA, so I had found this the other day, and Curtis was like, "Hey man, how much do you want for that?" And I was gonna sell for like $15, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just probably end up giving it to him." So I ended up finding a second one. So Curtis, now I don't feel so bad giving that, that beggar tape.
What was that? 88?
Yeah, this is the one with Nolan, Oral Hershiser. Oral
Hershiser.
Yeah, and
Kirk Gibson.
Kirk Gibson had the big home run where he was faking that injury when he was running around. Whatever.
I remember.
It's funny because he's hurting, and then all of a sudden, after he rounds second base, look at him there. Like he don't look so hurt there.
Get that adrenaline kicked in there, buddy.
Yeah, that's possible. I don't know. I remember
cocaine.
Yeah, that's probably why he got the hit.
They were all on amphetamines.
Yeah, and here's another one I grabbed for Curtis because he's a big Ernest fan. This
nice.
just looks ridiculous. Look at. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine how bad Kareem is in this movie? Because he's not that good of an actor. I mean, he was okay in Airplane, but it was very limited.
Curtis deserves that.
Yeah, this is gonna be his engagement gift.
It's so Curtis worthy.
These two right here. This isn't. So if you're watching, Curtis, spoiler alert. That's your engagement gift. This is another thing I like.
Denise is late to the feed. She might not have heard that Curtis got engaged.
Yeah.
To Layla this past week.
She said yes, Denise. I mean, it's amazing.
I know.
I thought for sure she was going to be like, I got to go back to London. So I got the Sweat to the Oldies. These are easy flips, especially when you bundle them with a bunch of other Simmons tapes. People are real nostalgic for them. Plus, you'll get like a channel that'll make fun of it, and then you'll see a spike in these kind of things. So, exercise tapes are big. There's one I'm really looking for. It's called like Seniors Pilates and Dancing Grannies, where they're doing aerobics. And those fetch. You'd be surprised how they're like $50-$60. But
well, there's these web YouTube channels too that will run them and do commentary and stuff because they're all royalty free. Like nobody's looking to take that.
Nobody cares. Those grannies aren't around no more. Nobody. It's they never kept up the. They never kept the rights. The rights. I'm sure they've expired and nobody cared. And this is a weird thing. Now, my oldest son, I remember waking up one morning and his mom was playing PBS, and I was hearing like this lame ass shit. I'm like, what is that? And it was Lamb Chop's Play Along.
Oh,
this is a horror. Well, I don't know how horror it is, but It's like I'm assuming it's a Halloween special in the Haunted Studio. And I knew when I saw it, it's like, I bet you that's a $20 tape. And sure enough, it's a $20 tape. So this will be making its way to
What
eBay
is
at
that?
some
I've never
point.
heard of that.
Well, there's this lady named Sherry Lewis, and she had a PBS show called Lamb Chops Play Along, and essentially it was like a puppet. So I guess she's a, I don't know, ventriloquist, I guess.
Yeah.
I know
she
did the voice, but she would like, you could totally.
Yeah. Just a puppet show.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
there you go. Well, whatever it was, but
Never heard of it.
I still hear that shitty song in my head when I think of it. It is.
Is Grandpa Munster on the back? Guest star?
No, that's just some dude. Actually, you know what? It's Canadian's own. Boom.
Oh,
Alan
it's,
Thicke.
Alan Thicke.
And John Byner, another famous Canadian.
Man,
No, wait,
yeah.
Byner wasn't Canadian, was he? He just made his money in Canada.
He might as well be Canadian.
True,
Look at that
we'll
guy.
take him.
Yeah.
I love the Byner show.
And
was that
then,
Bizarre?
Bizarre, yeah.
Yeah, with Super Dave. Super Dave was on there. That's where you got to start.
Yeah.
So there you go. So if you're looking to flip, don't overlook crap like this because you'd be surprised. And
I like that show. I was way too old to be watching it, but I watched it anyway.
I preferred Barney. It was at the same time, and I could sit through Barney. And when that came on, is usually when I was like, I'm out. I got to go outside and water the grass or something.
How was he watching Barney? In what state of mind?
Well, exactly. That's why I went outside prior, and then I came back in, and I went back out. It was a metaphor there, buddy. And here's the last thing from that thrift store. It's what's his face? It's the Fergie wedding. So it's on beta, and it's the royal wedding 1980. Initially, when I saw it, I was thinking it was Princess Di, but actually I noticed the 86 date. So that's Prince Andrew, the pedophile, and Fergie.
Alleged.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna. No, he's a pedophile. It's okay. I'll take the heat on that. Come at me, Prince Andrew, you pedophile. Yeah. So I'm gonna. I don't have a working Betamax right now, but as soon as I do, I'm gonna watch that. So there you go.
I didn't see that closer coming, to be honest with you. I didn't.
Yeah.
You weren't expecting the pedophile closer?
Got to come in strong with.
Who had that
Prince
on their
Andrew
score
here.
sheet?
Right.
Yeah, exactly. All right, thank you. That was fun stuff. Thanks, Chris Roberts.
All right.
VA stuff. Buried on Mars. Kevin.
Well, you guys in your cassettes. Every week now it's cassettes, and well, I guess I got to get in on the cassette.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. I knew it.
These are my
Mother
cassettes.
Brain's leaving. Sorry.
Oh.
See Mother Brain.
She heard cassettes and she's out of here. These are my cassettes from when I was a kid. They're pretty much the only ones that I kept. And these are all my Weird Al Yankovic cassettes.
Oh, nice.
So, starting in chronological order, we got Weird Al Yankovic's self-titled debut album on CBS. That CBS original sticker there. It's a little bit Bill Condish, but
I've you can swap those out if you.
I don't know because it's got the CBS sticker right on there.
Oh
so.
yeah, I probably wouldn't leave it alone. That's part of the charm.
But yeah, you can see these got quite a bit of play from me.
You got a hair on
hair on
there. That's one of Kevin's early pubes. Sorry, man. I knew where that was going.
No, I still have all my early pubes.
That hair he still has.
Okay. Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. Here we go. Look at he's got a lot of play.
Have you
in the day.
have you showed that one before? Because I think I remember somebody showed that. I had never seen that one before. I'm not
Weird Al Yankovic in 3D. This is the big one. Eat It.
Oh, that's Eat It on it? Okay.
Yeah, Eat It's on here. I think that's the only big one. The Brady Bunch. I Lost on Jeopardy. This one also has the theme from Rocky. What is that? 13? Yeah, the theme from Rocky 13. No one's got that one. Fat and Weak. What a mistake. Guess the champ got too lazy.
That's great.
Dare to Be Stupid. Weird Al Yankovic, Dare to Be Stupid on chromium dioxide.
Whoa.
I got the CRO2. This one's in a little better shape.
Were you buying these retail or is this Columbia House action?
Oh no, this was all retail. I didn't have my Columbia House was a scam according to my parents. So this one I had to order at Sam the Record Man. I went to Sam the Record Man and I was looking for Weird Al Yankovic Polka Party. Couldn't find it anywhere. And so at Sam the Record Man, they said what you can do is you can go up to this big book and flip through the book and find it and find the number and give me the number and I'll order it for you. And that blew my mind that you could just order any album that you want. And see, it was a little later one because this was like the final one I needed to complete my collection at the time. And they're all black. This one is, I think this one was the first one I got. Weird Al Yankovic. Even worse.
Uh-huh.
Yep, that was good.
This one got a ton of play. Well, you can't tell on that side. I guess this was the side that got the. But this doesn't even play anymore. Like it's warbly. I'm not sure. Oh yeah, see, he even did the made fun of the artwork.
Yeah,
in there. This thing's barely holding together. Then we got the most underrated movie ever, UHF.
Totally.
Bombed at the box office, but it was up against Batman and Ghostbusters 2 and Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Yeah, that's a
dumb.
That's pretty tough, man.
Dumb idea to put it out in the summertime.
Yeah, that should have been like a early year, like a February release.
Yeah, March.
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
crazy.
But you got all your lyrics in there, man. Like, I want to follow along. The songs.
It's really good.
And,
Oh wow,
let's see if they got the
magnifying glass.
Break out the magnifying.
Yeah, I do remember this. Yeah. Okay. So, if you do know the song, I don't know if you guys know the song. The biggest ball of twine in Minnesota starts here, and it goes all the way. Then it comes back. If I got this right, it comes back up. It goes all the way down here.
Whoa.
It's an epic song. As you can see, it says Minnesota, Minnesota, Minnesota.
God damn.
That is all the biggest ball of twine in Minnesota. If you've never heard it, it's a big, long, epic tune. It's good times. It's a concept album, and it's in one song. Carrying on, we got Off the Deep End. It was the big comeback album.
Speaking of Nirvana.
Yep.
Yeah.
that was one of the first cassettes I remember buying with my own money.
Here we finally got the clear, a clear cassette, like you.
I can't watch
you
this.
Yanks.
Yep.
And I remember. I remember my aunt saw this photo of Weird Al, and she was like, "Whoa, he's a really good-looking guy without his glasses." All right, do you want some time alone with Off the Deep End? And finally,
I wasn't paying attention to her. Is what's going on?
I moved on to CD after this one. This was the last one I got. Weird Al Yankovic, Alapalooza. Actually, you might remember I got a sealed copy of it on CD. I opened it up here, but this is my original cassette.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
And this one had some cool artwork in it too from the video. And there's Al again showing off to the ladies.
Oh, wow.
Hey?
He was very distinguished right there.
Like a buddy
like
from
Freddie Mercury.
Gone with the Wind. Or Freddie Mercury, yeah, sure.
Yeah, I was going to say Freddie Mercury too.
There you go. So that's it. That's my Weird Al collection, circa 1980 to 1993.
So out of his commercial hits, what's your favorite?
Commercial hits, like
like the ones that have been played. I don't want you to tell me the ball of twine one.
That's my favorite.
I figured that's why I
biggest
framed
ball
it
of twine. So good. I don't know. I really like when it comes to Weird Al and you listen to the albums, the parodies are okay, but it's really his own songs that were the best to me. Anyways, I always thought they were the funniest. But I can't think of. I mean, Eat It was it was okay.
Yeah,
I guess.
I don't know.
Is there?
Rides the bus.
Yeah, I was just gonna grab like really this one for the parodies because this is when he did everything with the accordion. So the entire album is accordion from beginning to end, and it's great. So I guess for parodies, I'm a purist.
Okay.
I really like this one.
I think another one, Rides the Bus, is hilarious.
Yeah.
You remember that? I love the '90s. You know how that VH1 was doing all those. I love the '80s. I love the '70s. I love the '90s. Yeah. They got to the year where Weird Al did Amish Paradise. And what I loved, I mean, I always liked that song, but what made it go to this next level is they had Coolio on there explaining when they contacted him asking permission to use his song, and he said no.
Yeah.
He goes, no, it was a serious song, and I didn't know. I didn't want them to make fun of it, but they just did it anyway. And he was so bitter and angry, and I was just like, the guy with the stupid braids and flinging around in his bouncing car and all that.
Yeah, that's right.
The guy who was this very serious man. And my Weird Al's respect level just went like even higher for me in that moment. I was just like, fuck you, Coolio.
And there's no way that Weird Al would have done it without his permission. So at some point he did give him his permission.
Yeah, because the money. That's the bottom line. The record company said you're going to get up this much percentage, and he did it.
Yeah,
it wasn't like technically a verbal phone Weird conversation, right?
Right.
It had legal documents involved.
Absolutely.
Well, technically, Weird Al doesn't need permission, right?
No, he just has to pay royalties. He could get sued and end up. That's why you rather negotiate it up front whenever you use. He used the music.
It falls under parody, which is fine to do. You don't have to ask. You don't have to get permission to do it. You can just go ahead and do it. Howard Stern. Howard Stern doesn't get permission,
but he's not selling. He's not selling it, as opposed to when you sell it, they would get a portion. They could get royalties.
Right.
They'd have to,
so you want to negotiate the royalties up front.
No, I'm not saying you wouldn't get money. I'm just saying permission.
Yeah.
Like
you're 100% right about the permission part, which was bullshit. It was more about he just was probably said no initially because he wanted to hold out for more.
But
it's a great song.
If you ever see Weird Al live, he does have a bunch of songs that he did that artists said no to. Right, like he could not get permission to him, but he can still perform them live.
Right.
So when you go see him live, he does all those. Well, he did in 1993 when I saw him, and he did a whole bunch of those songs. And
I would love to see him, man.
Do you remember what they were, Kev?
Like there was one Chicken Pot Pie was Live and Let Die, which and there was a Prince song, but I'm not a big Prince guy, so I can't tell you which one it was. If it was like Little Red Corvette or something like that, I don't. It was 1983, man, or 1993. But those were the two that stuck out. I can't remember.
Did you get a concert tee at that show?
Yeah, I did, and I think I still have it. I'm pretty sure I do. I used to wear it. I wore it at work. You made fun of me.
You did have a question or back a ways about more modern Weird Al. Did he cover American Idiot?
Yes.
Canadian Idiot.
Yes.
Did he?
Yes, he did. Yeah, that's right. I haven't really listened to too much modern Weird Al. Like I haven't listened to any of the
Well, his bread and butter was the video market, and since that's gone away, I don't know what he's doing.
It's on YouTube.
You can watch it on YouTube.
Yeah, like that's the funny
where the
thing.
Video market is gone.
Weird Al is like it's funny. Like you listen to him talk, and he's like, he thought after the first album, you couldn't follow that up. Like he was just like, I did my first album. Nobody's gonna care to hear another parody album. And then the next one he did, he's like, well, maybe I'll do a video this time. So that's where he did Eat It.
Yeah,
and he became
great.
even more popular. He's like, well, I did that once, I can't do it again. And then he just kept like MTV started taking off, and it became huge. So he became a star on there. And then he did the movie. And it's like, well, the movie's done. I did all like the Michael Jackson. I can't do Michael Jackson anymore.
Yeah, but did I'm Fat? Right?
Yeah.
No. This was after.
At that point, right? Yeah.
So like in the 90s, he was like, okay, I'm gonna do one more thing. I'll do this Nirvana thing, see if that takes off. And then that became a huge hit. Like he keeps finding ways like to accidentally get hits. He doesn't really, Anyway,
I remember in the Nirvana video, he had marbles falling out of his mouth.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was funny.
Good.
I know Duke just gave me a great yawn for next week's.
I'm sorry. I tried to hold
No
it in.
offense. No offense, man.
The man's been up since 4 a.m. Give him a break, man.
I
Pretty much.
appreciate it. I thank him for it. We need to have interesting tips for the intro. Wow. Dare I say we're on to a vinyl round.
Oh my goodness.
Hour 20 in. Okay.
I got to take a quick break and feed my dog his meds real quick. I'll be right back. Sorry.
Okay.
Was that a euphemism for something? Was that feed my dog the Benadryl?
Cool trick with the chair, though, to close his
that was
camera.
great.
Can't see him feed the dog the Benadryl now.
Yeah, god damn it. I have to give my dog meds too nowadays. It's a pain.
Same here.
But, yeah. So, anyways, okay. Let's see what I got. Last week, you guys made me fly through my records as I was doing my recap of my favorite picks from the previous year. And, I guess I got through them all because we're back to the Johnny Cash stuff. So if you guys are new to what I've been showing, I found a stack of really, really old Johnny Cash records at a thrift store. They are his first Columbia House records, first pressings. Pretty exciting to go through them, and we've just been working our way through them. So next up, oh yeah. Let me flip this over here. Every time I see Kevin, I have bitter tears. Look at him.
Yeah. That's
a
an
man
album
right
for the
there.
moody
Too good,
90s.
Yeah, for the 90s. Ballad of Ira Hayes is on this one. Again, is this stereo or mono? Oh, this is a stereo one. Canadian edition. There's the back. What do we got on here? Ooh, I don't know how well these play nowadays, but might be some questionable stuff on there that woke audiences won't like, but I don't know. Seems like a lot of race issues. Look at that. There's even a sleeve in here. Old original. Oh, wait. It's not using the sleeve, though. It is beside the sleeve.
Sleeve adjacent.
Pretty good. Good shape again. Columbia 2i. So as we learned, I think a couple weeks ago when Chris Roberts had a similar record, Columbia switched to the 2i label in 62. So that helps you age these things. I'm trying to get a sleeve. I'm using the Mobile Fidelity inner sleeves here, replacement sleeves. Duke, dog take it okay?
Yes. Sorry about that. We had a scare this week. He got hurt pretty bad and had taken to the emergency room in the middle of the night. Didn't get home till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, that's the worst.
It was pretty bad. He's 13 years old, so he's a big golden. So at his age, he was playing with Ollie, our new dog, and jacked himself up real bad. He could barely walk, couldn't turn his head. So we thought he broke his back or something, but it wasn't as bad as we thought. But they got him on some painkillers and some anti-inflammatory, and Tara's not home, so I had to take care of that real quick. Sorry.
No problem. No. I'm just going through some Johnny Cash stuff. This is the last album that I got that time in stereo, Columbia. What'd we go from? Bitter Tears to Happiness. Happiness is you.
Man, he looks like a catcher's mitt.
He looks.
Like,
He is
what's
so
going
happy.
on there, man?
That's
He's
happiness.
farting. He's farting.
Word cover. Why do that to Johnny?
Oh,
Oh
man.
my gosh.
Seeing if there's a date on here. Let's see one. Here's the tracks. Guess things happen that way. That's the big one on here. The Wabash Cannonball. That's a big one.
Oh, that Johnny Cash mean as hell. That's a one for the wall right there.
Yeah,
that is
pretty cool.
That is. Yeah. That is rock star stance, too.
Yeah.
Okay, what do we got going here? What do you guys think? You saw adjacent sleeve. This one is
No sleeve.
no sleeve. It's ready to rock and roll.
And these are your perfect ones that you found at the thrift store?
Look at like
Yeah, but
they
why
are
not
really
put a
good?
fucking cover on it, dude? Like, preserve it.
That's my job now.
I know you're failing. What are you doing?
No, I'm showing them to you as found. I haven't modified. I'm showing you how you find these things if you go.
No, you do that when you get them, not 8 years later.
There's a little bit of scuff.
I got to defend Bill here. He's not being a poser and making it appear like as if he got it in pristine.
That's true. Who would be doing that? Who would be doing that?
That's a Joe move, 100%.
All right, fair enough.
Clean it up, all that stuff.
And he'd say someone sent it to him as a
As a gift.
fan gift.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go. Thank you, Bill.
See, nice new sleeve.
That's good. All right, you were planning to do that. I didn't mean to mess up your big reveal there.
As found, so people can share the adventure of me thrifting. And the shock of how good the vinyl is.
Yeah, that's really clean, especially not having us cover like that.
So it's like when they first got it, they got rid of the sleeves and never played them.
And do you put all your really nice records in that extra little bag you got there?
The poly?
Yeah.
All records go in.
Even the garbage ones?
I don't have garbage ones, but all records go in here.
Is that standard for you too, Kevin? And
yeah.
Matt?
Yeah.
I got to
So
get
it
in there.
doesn't like if you don't and they're rubbing together, they're gonna.
Yeah,
they're
no,
gonna wear.
you're right. I got to get in on that.
You get those like on your car, the spiral kind of scratches on there on the gloss. If they're glossy, the plastic will protect it. Okay.
They got those at over there in that one record store right there, Matt. Yeah.
Yeah, real cheap too.
All right.
I think they actually manufacture them.
Denise is saying that I wouldn't normally do the inner sleeve stuff until I do a big inner sleeve-a-thon live on YouTube. I do have another live record YouTube stream coming up at some point because the shelves have gotten out of control where I have to reorganize them. I've cleaned up another whole shelf. I've condensed. I was talking about this before. I condensed some video game shelves from 3 into 2, created a whole new shelf. So I'm going to re-alphabetize stuff because I had like stuff in an alphabetory system, but then I had big groups on their own whole shelf. So like Grateful Dead had their own section. Bob had his own section. The Beatles had their own section. I don't know who else. Rolling Stones had their own section. I'm going to put them in and just have one big alphabet system.
Well,
So-
shouldn't they have their own section if they are alphabetized?
Well, now what if it's like Bob when he's in a different band, or Bob solo? Are you just going to consider it all Bob Dylan, or are you going to alphabetize it?
It depends on the size of the guest appearance. I'll say Traveling Wilburys will get their own. Will go in the T's. They won't go in the Bob because he doesn't take over the entire band. But trying to think what else would fall under that. The Last Waltz, that'll go in with the band, Okay. But yeah, those big groups have their own shelf. I want to put them in the population, in the regular population.
So did you say you were going to stream all this?
Yeah, we're going to set the camera up, and we're going to all like relax and go through records and chat live.
People watch this? You get people to watch?
Yeah, they send money and hit the donate button. Yeah.
You organize your shelf.
Why not? Are you saying I don't have the personality to carry that kind of broadcast?
Well, we know Joe does.
Okay, question. This is a good one from Miss Elba Bob. What about the Dylan and the Dead album?
That goes right in between Bob Dylan and then the Grateful Dead. It's like the coming together.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I'd have to think about that. Anyways, yes, exactly. Although, as you guys learned, as I went through my Bob Dylan collection, I don't have that album. So maybe that's why I didn't want to deal with it.
There you go.
Your two favorite things, you don't have it.
That is strange, right?
That's something.
Okay. Because you guys are asking, I'll show you some Grateful Dead.
That'd be like if there was a Star Wars RoboCop movie and Duke didn't have that movie. I don't want to see that.
That's impossible.
You guys did ask for this.
No.
Here's a good Grateful Dead one. Nope, you haven't.
Pretty good.
Terrapin Station.
That is pretty good, that one.
Check out the cutout on this one. It is severe cutout.
Whoa. Oh my goodness. They went business.
Yeah. They weren't fooling around.
Almost cut down to the record.
How does that occur?
They would do that on purpose, so because they were remainders at the store, like they couldn't sell it, so they would sell them to like a discount store to be resold, but so the discount store wouldn't take them back to the distributor and get a full thing. They would purposely
maim it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Huh. Promo copies would also get that too.
Yeah, like DJs at record stations and stuff like that.
Well,
right?
A lot of times they
have the hole punch.
Yeah, they would get the punch hole in because they would be. That's how they would stack them in the library. They'd be on like rings.
That's true.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we had that at my college.
Got into the inner sleeve here too.
Man.
Got the God shows were on this album. Estimated Profit, Dancing in the Street. Got some artwork on this side.
Okay, cool. Cyclops skull. That was awesome.
Yeah. Whoa.
Oh.
Arista.
Yeah, it's a cool label.
That's the black label. It's weird that they're on that.
Well, yeah. So what do you think? This is a weirdo?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is.
I only know that from Ghostbusters, because Ghostbusters was supposed to be on Columbia Records, but Columbia Records said, "Oh, you're gonna have Ray Parker Jr. as the guy with the single, so we're gonna have to put you on the black label, on our Arista label." And they were like, "What? Are you serious? You have a black label? It's 1984." I'm like, "Yeah, no, that's where we got to put them."
Oh my god!
All right, there's that artwork there in color. That would be a patch that I bet could go on a
battle vest.
Battle vest. Thank you very much.
Too bad it was
That is
wasted
true,
on
like,
back
the
then.
That'd be a
Grateful-
weak ass battle. You'd get your ass whooped in
The
in
Dead
a
does
real
have like
battle.
some pretty like metal looking logos and
They
stuff.
do.
though.
I know. That's why it's always kind of bummed me out. I'm like, because
And then the music plays.
Yeah.
And then like, I see
Oh.
the image, like, oh, that looks kind of cool. Like, oh, that kind of stuff.
You guys, come on. We're not. I'm not showing eagles here. Talk about metal. Then you got a cover like this, which is.
Yeah.
I don't get this one.
Yeah, that's bad.
Well, in the dark, it makes sense, but
That's no.
And that one too has like a weird thing happening where half of the albums out there have it where the eyeballs are right side up, and then others have it where it's upside down.
is that true?
Yeah, I've seen it both ways.
Here's the.
And I don't know
artwork on
what's the
back.
rare one and what's
Oh, that's
the.
kind of freaky right there.
That's trippy.
Oof, I don't like that. Oh
Well,
man,
they
I
are
do not
trippy.
like
That-
that picture.
That's some
That is wild.
that's some LSD stuff right there.
That is
Yeah.
something. If you're freaking out, Matt Bandy, you've done your job.
Right. The death metal guy.
Yeah.
Man.
Witch vomit.
So this got them in the mainstream with Touch of Grey. They charted, and then the stadium tour started, and
Great song.
they become one of the most profitable touring bands around. My thing is in the way. Everyone look at Phil. Looks like an
They all
accountant
look
right
good.
there.
Yeah. My goodness.
There's Brent, the keyboard. Everyone loves Brent, but I never liked him.
Now, this is part of like that stat a little misleading that how they were the largest, most profitable groups because they toured so much. Like they were doing like nobody was doing the amount of shows that they were doing.
Could be, and plus it's all stadiums at that point, so
Yeah.
like, they weren't afraid of filling an entire stadium. There were no half stadiums. They were just. There's the boys.
Guy in the middle looks like Andy Sipowicz.
Yeah. Yeah, he's like giving him the look too. I got a guy in the other room who says that you was there.
That was a pretty terrible impression, but
No, it was not.
got the job done.
Okay. And it's the label. Label's got the. It's got. It's upside down for you. Skull and Rose's skeleton kind of on there.
Oh yeah, I didn't even see that at first. That's cool.
It's in good shape. That's a good one.
That is a good album.
Okay. Just slip that back in here. Okay. One more? One more.
Sure.
All right. This might be the one you give people if you want to introduce them to the Grateful Dead, because it's a big old greatest hits album.
So it's got like 2 songs on it.
The best of the Grateful Dead.
Hey, come on.
What a long, strange trip it's been.
And Touch of Grey, and that's it.
It's funny
That was
guy.
before the Touch
Yeah.
of Grey, right?
Trucking and Touch of Grey. And into hits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Before Touch of Grey.
Yeah. See, even that font is very Matt Bandy metal.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of
Jack
stoner.
Strong.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with you, Bandy. Like, this is good shit. Big old gatefold here. Let's see if I can get that in for you.
You guys ever get turned off on an artist or a band just because of their fans?
Oh. Well, maybe that's me and Punk.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about Fish, but I have the same feeling about them. I've never
don't
heard
like-
them. I don't know anything about them other than apparently
I
they
don't
have like a following.
I don't like Fish or Grateful Dead. I never have.
Yep.
I could hook you up. You'll find some goods in here.
It's
But-
funny because a lot of people compare Dave Matthews. to
Yeah,
these
I was gonna say,
bands.
to be fair, Dave Matthews is a travel band too, where people travel to go to all of his concerts.
Yeah.
He's fringe of the jam band scene.
Jam band, yeah. I don't consider them in the same category though.
No, not at all. Same amount of talent. I mean,
I always found it hilarious how Howard Stern would go on and on about Cream, how it was his
Oh.
favorite band, but then he would complain about jam bands.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, Cream was like one of the biggest jam bands ever.
well, he'd say he went
He
and
just likes
saw
their
someone in
hits.
concert, and they were
Yeah.
doing Cream, and it was longer than 3 minutes, and he hated it.
Yeah. And meanwhile, like fucking Ginger Baker is a 20-minute drum solo. That's what he is, man.
So yeah, this is a great starter pack to get people to hear all the sounds of the Grateful Dead, and nothing too long, nothing too spacey. It's all really good stuff here. You hear everything from the bluegrass themed and the country theme and the psychedelic stuff. It's all on here. It's all really good. It's a great album.
You know, it's funny. I probably, if I would dig into their stuff, I probably would find stuff that I like. I know I would.
100%, like especially the country, like the bluegrass and country stuff, the Americana stuff, So
For me, that that live album that I have, I think like that would be the one that I would try to introduce people with. I think it's I can't remember what it's called.
Steal Your Face.
No. It's a Europe 72.
Oh yeah, god damn it. Yeah,
that'd be the one. Like that'd be the one I tell people to check out.
But some people, if you shove a live album in their face, I don't want to hear live stuff. So, anyways, this has live stuff in it too. I don't know what I'm saying. I gotta. Anyways, there'll be more Grateful Dead later on our more shows
later in the year. Or?
later on in the year.
Yeah.
Depends if record stores open up here. I doubt it.
Oh.
I doubt it.
Oh, yeah, you guys are back on some serious lockdown, huh?
Serious. Yeah. Where the stores are roping off sections because it's non-essential stuff.
Non-essential? Oh, wow.
So you have
I don't miss that. I do miss the less traffic, or like the empty lanes on the highways and everything. I did miss. I will say that's the one thing I miss about the lockdown.
Yeah, we still haven't reached pre-lockdown levels of traffic yet, and it's been nice.
Where I'm at, it's just like business as usual. Nothing. It's so congested. I feel like there's even more people on because they're not going to work.
All right, they got
moving on their phone or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, oh man.
All right. Well, that's it for my little section of vinyl for this episode. I'll pass it on over to Duke if he's got something else to show us.
All right. Well, this is actually a monumental occasion here because for the first time in history, I actually have some vinyl.
Whoa!
Because I have a record player now. I've put 2 feet in the rabbit hole when I'm
right. Well,
going
tell us
down.
about that. About the decision making involved in picking out a record player.
Well, it was like my birthday weekend, and I was like, you know what?
Happy birthday!
Thank you. I want a record player. That's kind of what I wanted. So I went to that store, my favorite new store, and he's got quite a few of them there. And I said, look, give me. I'm looking to buy a record player this weekend. And just kind of give me like your mid-range, because as far as price, because I wanted a vintage one. I didn't want to buy a new one. I wanted to buy an old one because my stereo system is vintage, and I just wanted to get one that kind of matched with that. So it's a Kenwood. What's that?
I got both.
That was my recommendation.
Yes,
I recommended vintage.
I did reach out to my vinyl friends and get some get some feedback.
These friends, plural, Bill, not just Bill. I got both. I got vintage and a new one, so I'm covered.
So there's a little bit of a story that goes with it. So I picked one up, Kenwood, and he had 2 of them there that were very similar. And I picked out the nicer one. I actually kind of pieced it together. He's like, "Yeah, you can take the cover off this one. This one's out of scratched up." The guy is super cool. I was like, "Oh, that's great." He said, "It's all tested. I know it works." So I was super excited. I bought an album as well. Took it home, set it up, played a couple, record or two, and it sounded amazing. I was like super excited. So then I go to play another record, and it didn't work. And in hindsight, I think I know what happened. So tell me if this is possible, because at first I thought there's no way this thing has this design flaw. but I forgot to unclip the arm, and I hit the button to start the record over. It had like an automatic start. And I was like, oh, shoot, I forgot to unclip it. And then it wouldn't work. And I took the thing apart because you know me, I wanted to try to fix it. And a little piece of plastic broke in the gears underneath where all that stuff, very complicated mechanism, really impressive for its time, just super complex. But I think that's what happened. I think I hit that start button. And since it was clipped, it tried to move that arm. And I'm thinking nowadays they would have some kind of a check and balance for that. But I think back then you had to remember to unclip it or you broke your record player. At least that's what I gathered from what happened. So anyway, long story short, I took it back. He said, oh, well, I said, I don't know what happened. It just doesn't work. It worked for a couple of minutes, and I tried to play another record and it stopped working. So he said, well, here, take this one too. Take them both. And just gave me both of them. So I brought them both home, and the other one worked. And I put the nicer cover on back on that one and got it all working together. And
now you got backup parts. Hey,
exactly.
Spare parts. That's nice.
So
what was the price, if you don't mind me asking? How much did he charge?
I think he charged me like $70.
Oh, that's good.
Especially for two.
Yeah.
That's a great deal now.
$35 a piece, right on.
Yep.
Are they both automatic?
The yeah. Now one of them has a one more feature. Like the one that I initially brought home that I broke had one where you hit the button and it would start it. The other one that's working only you have to manually start it, but then you hit a button and it goes off of it. What's it called? Hang on. Oh, it says cut. The button says cut. And that's the only button on there besides this change the speed. So when the record's playing, you hit the cut button, it lifts the needle up and the arm goes back over automatically and the record stops spinning. And when it gets to the end of the record, it automatically goes up and goes over and rests back on the arm thing. But the other one down here, it had both. You could start it and cut it. So I do miss that nice feature where you could.
Well, I bet you that little part, you could get that.
Well, it's a piece of plastic that's broke. I saw it fall out, but it's like all intertwined in this big gear set. I'd have to buy that whole mechanism probably, but I think I could probably track it down.
I bet you if you Googled your symptoms, someone else has done it, and if they don't have the part, they've 3D printed it. Because my friend just did that with a laser disc player. He bought this laser disc player, and it has a gear that would break. And it's very common, and you can't buy those parts no more. And so all these guys on these forums, threads and everything, they're talking about doing it. Finally, he's just like, you know what, fuck that. And he just made it really quick. And he just solved like this problem of a 3-year-old thread. I bet someone else has done it, man.
So I am determined to get this one working again because Mother Brain wants to join in the fun. And I want to get a stereo system set up in the living room with a record player and all. So looking forward to kind of getting that fixed up. So there's my little story. But let me get to my records here. So first I have Def Leppard Hysteria. Nice. Any fans of this?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. No.
No.
I didn't think Kevin, I knew Kevin was going to be a no.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is significant. Go ahead, Kevin. I want to hear.
No, it's fine. I never liked them or whatever.
Yeah. I'm not a big Def Leppard fan, but I'm a fan of this particular album. This one has a significance to it because I made sure this was the first album I bought with this new record player. I bought this first because I knew I wanted to buy this one first because this is the very first tape or album I ever bought as an older kid. And this signifies or symbolizes the beginning of my interest in my own music, and it was rock. So I remember vividly, I bought this tape. I felt like a big kid. I was probably 12 or 13, because prior to that, I just listened to whatever was on the radio. And I had an older sister who was a little rebellious and edgy, and she had all the Iron Maiden stuff and all the cool records with all the monsters on them. And I always thought it was so, kind of big kiddish. So I was in the living room listening to this tape in my Walkman, and my sister walked in the living room and was like, "What are you listening to?" And I was like, I showed her the tape, and she's like, "Oh!" And I kind of felt like I had some street cred from my cooler older sister that I was listening to some rock music. So it's kind of like a special moment. So, but I really liked like this album. I just listened to it tonight again, and it's really good. I like it a lot. It is, your generic hair band kind of stuff, nothing, but it's catchy. And I don't know much about their other stuff, but I always liked this album as a kid, and I'm glad to have it back. Now, when I got this and opened it up, I thought, my gosh, this could be very dangerous, because this thing is absolutely gorgeous. It's a gatefold. Is that what you call it?
Yep.
Or it opens up. Now, why is it called a gatefold? What is gate? Like a gate? Is that what gatefold means?
I don't know
Am I
why
saying
it
it
calls
right?
it, but those early print Atari games have gatefolds as well. So
I've never
it's
seen a gate
they
open
call
like
it for
that.
yeah, that's the way it does.
Well, that's not a gate. A gate open. Like, if this were a gate, this would have, one of these would have to be the fence, right? And then this is the gate, or vice versa. I don't know.
Could be a
I'll
different
call it a
kind of
gatefold. That's what it is. Anyway, it's like super crispy, and you got this nice, I guess I'll do what you guys do and pull this thing all apart here. One of the sleeves has the lyrics on it here. And it's a double. It's got 2 records,
A gatefold
So all these,
or fold out is a type of fold used for advertising around a magazine or section, and for packaging of media such as in phonographic industry.
okay.
Yep. I just looked it up, man. You beat me. Good job.
So here you go. There's the actual vinyl. And
Yeah,
they're real
that
heavy.
record, or well, it was probably a cassette, was the Carney's favorite thing, man. I've heard those songs on the Gravitron more times than I can remember that. And oh yeah, they used to have the videos playing too. It was really cool. So they'd have Pour Some Sugar on Me and Love Bites and
Love Bites.
They were huge,
Those
man.
are the
Yeah,
standout songs. And Hysteria is another
Hysteria,
standout song.
yeah.
Armageddon It.
Yep, that was
Animal,
another
Rocket.
one.
This thing had
All
a
of it,
lot of
Rocket.
radio.
That was a lot of hits. It was a mega album.
Absolutely. The ones that didn't get a lot of radio play was Gods of War, Don't You Shotgun Run Ride. The latter part of the album. Hysteria was on there.
It was still pretty heavy. It was pretty heavy hits for, a hair band album. They had a lot.
Yeah. So I knew they had a couple other hits prior to this album, but this was like their biggest, I think.
I think so.
It's huge for them.
I
So
like their
again,
other album cover though, where like a windows exploding out of a building or something.
What's that other
Pyromania
big one?
or something?
Pyromania, yeah. So that had a couple of hits as well, but
I just like the cover though. I like the
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What's supposed to be on it? It's like a triangle with multiple faces screaming. I mean,
well, ironically, it kind of looks like the Rob Bottin monster from The Thing, doesn't it? With the two
a little
faces
bit.
kind of ripping apart.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, just kind of like funky art there, but I don't know what it's supposed to mean. There's a lot of like war theme messages in this album, so kind of has a kind of a theme to it. But yeah, I like it a lot. Next, had to get this as my second album, Metallica Black. Their self-entitled album, their 5th release. Is that correct, guys? Right? This was after Injustice for All, right?
Yep.
Re-listened to this a couple times. Much like I remember, it's really solid. It's good. Now I've been really into Metallica. I've been watching a lot of their. Chris, I watched that. Not the tape. The tapes that I got for you that are still in my truck in a box, ready to go to the post office that I haven't given you yet. I didn't watch the tapes, but I watched that on YouTube, and that was a really, really good watch. It's like 3 hours long of a year and a half of Metallica, I think it's called. Kevin, you said you saw that, right?
Oh yeah.
It's really, really good. What I got mostly out of it was they're such likable people. They're a fun band. They're all funny. They all seem to get along real well. I just had a lot of respect for them watching them kind of interact. I will say though that watching them with the make the Black album, and then they showed some of their touring afterwards and their awards and all that kind of stuff. They did sell out. I mean, watching them with that producer who was just kind of a dork, if you ask me.
Bob Rock.
Yeah, just a dorky guy, and very off-putting. The band was so likable, and he was just kind of like a cocky guy. Didn't like his personality. But and Lars out of all the band members, I guess he's the one that's the most annoying. He's got the rock star kind of. What are you pointing at, Chris?
It's funny. Denise is like, hot weather tapes in the trunk should mail soon. You know.
Oh yeah, exactly.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But watching that tape or that documentary about them in the studio, they really just brought this guy in, and it just changed everything. They I guess technically made things sound better and more radio friendly, but they took away all the stuff that made the band, to me, what they were. All the raw stuff, and just because, but prior to that, I think they pretty much did all the production themselves.
Remember they cut their hair, and then the one guy was painting his fingers, and
That was later,
Load
yeah.
and Reload.
Yeah, but
that
still,
was even later.
It's
but
funny when they really sold out. Yeah.
Well, it wasn't.
But you
it's not a thrash album. There are some thrash songs on that one, like "Holier Than Thou" is pretty thrashy, but it's just a different. It's more of a radio friendly.
And you know, James Hetfield is singing more. You know, instead of screaming and yelling, he's like trying to sing, and it's just a whole different thing. And they brought this producer in to do what they did. They won a bunch of awards and made a ton of money. But it stripped away what they were all about. So,
well, I felt like that transition was a little more natural for them because, you know,
and older.
Well, and I mean, one was a big hit for them, right? So as soon as you get that little bit of success, you kind of want to do that like that. I mean, when you're performing for people and you get a great response from that, you want to do that again. So I can kind of see why they did that. Now, Load, like for me, they went from being Metallica, setting the trend for what they are, to following a trend with Load. You know, we would just, okay, we're going to do what all the other alternative bands are doing. And that was the big turnoff for me.
Yeah. And I was at a time, I watched a couple of documentaries and interviews where the band was older. They were having marital issues, and some of them were having kids, and the band was just at a different place, and they couldn't practice together as much as they used to, and they kind of pieced all that stuff together in an unnatural way. And I think those two albums kind of reflect that. So it was just kind of the natural, I guess, side effect of where they were in their lives and their ages and everything. Where prior to that, they were pretty young. Even up into the Black Album, they were pretty young men. And then here comes the other two, and they're, you know, some of them were getting divorced, getting remarried. It was just a whole bunch of stuff going on in their lives that they weren't as a cohesive band anymore like they used to be. But that's a really, really fun watch. Really, really, really interesting. It's funny. I mean, like I said, they're funny people, and they're so likable, and they're hysterical. One of the funniest parts was they were James was talking about they were touring with Guns N' Roses, right? And he was making fun of all the demands that Axl Rose had with all his catering, and he was like making all these jokes and throwing stuff on the floor and stepping on it. It was hysterical. But it really, I kind of lost some respect for Axl Rose. Not that I had any respect for him, but he's a jerk, or he was.
He was, anyway. Yeah. I think he's gotten a lot better.
I think so too.
There's also one story he's talking about where, and I don't know if it was in that same documentary, but when James got burned, and then so they had to go off early, and then then Axl just like, oh, my throat hurts, and he said he's sitting here smoking a cigarette on a long stick or whatever, and he's smoking. He's like, oh, my throat hurts, I can't sing. And they had a big riot, like all the fans there started rioting,
and Metallica was like, they could have stepped up and kind of saved the day, and instead they just walked off.
Guns N' Roses could have, they could have stepped up for sure.
Yeah, so it's definitely a interesting piece of history when it comes to, you know, those two bands coming together and that particular.
That would have been a hell of a concert.
Yeah, I would say.
You know what I mean?
I saw them on that tour.
Yeah, you didn't see nothing.
Did you really?
Yeah,
with that Grateful Dead shirt?
I could show you my Guns N' Roses Metallica shirt if you want.
All right.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for Kip Winger, though. He got really it ruined that documentary ruined his career.
Kip Winger?
Yeah, he was the guy that Lars was throwing darts at. You know, and he just kind of became you remember that? He had the dartboard and he was throwing darts.
I do remember a part where they're throwing darts, but who's Kip Winger?
He was the guy whose image was on the dartboard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
So, and he
Yeah.
kind of became like the symbol of everything that Metallica was against. And
Right.
Gotcha.
Well, isn't that why Beavis and Butthead, their lame ass friend, had the winger shirt?
yeah, well, that was part of it too.
Yeah.
But as funny and likable as they were, they also were the quintessential rock. They had porn magazines all over the place. They're spitting everywhere. A lot of unlikable character traits too.
I remember that
I guess-
spitting stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, that was gross.
Really weird. They're walking
Someone's
like
gotta clean
indoors
Thinking. Yeah.
and just
Yeah.
spit on the floor. I'm like,
Well, that's
That's
the
weird.
rock band life, man.
yeah.
Grateful
So-
Dead never did that.
Well, they weren't metal. Yeah, right.
So inside this one, this is not a gatefold. This is I guess it's like a fence. I don't know. But
There you go.
got the it
A
does have,
garage
like,
door.
some cool swirls on the
Oh.
bottom here.
Wow.
That's
Pretty
neat.
cool looking. But
Shows up good.
I'm glad to have this. It is a good, solid album for sure.
Is it a double?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Because that was always a long album.
Yeah, it's got and again, you guys, I'm a newbie here. With the weight of these things, what is because these are heavy.
It's probably
compared
180 gram.
Now, is there some indication on here where it would say, or
The weight in your hands would.
you'd have to weigh it? Like I didn't know if there was
Well,
like
yeah. Well, and it was
They
sometimes.
advertise it sometimes.
Yeah,
on
it
It
should
should
be
be
on the label.
it'd be like a hype sticker on there.
Yeah,
there was.
Try to
there
hype
was
it up.
one. Yeah. So anyway,
you got to keep those.
pretty cool.
That's right.
Glad to have that
I
one.
keep
All
them.
right, so now, of course, I had to go with one of my favorite albums of all time, Appetite for Destruction. I talked about this probably already at length.
Now, is that part 1 or part 2?
This is Appetite for Destruction's. It's a combination. No, it's just the one. But this is also, I think, it's just a one, not a double.
Oh, mine's a double.
Is it really?
Yeah.
No, this is just one.
I mean,
Oh, I
originally
think-
it was one, but I guess
Yeah.
I got some reissue. It's really a 3-sided one I have.
3-sided? How's that
Yeah.
possible?
One side's blank. There's nothing on it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. I've never seen that before.
So is it like remixes or extended mixes or?
They do have a deluxe album that has a bunch
Yeah.
of live tracks. Is that what you have?
No, it's just
Oh,
the
you just
album. I guess it's just that, like the songs aren't crammed in there as much. So
Mhm. I guess this gives it a better sound. Is that
yeah,
is that what
it's,
they're doing?
it's supposed to. Yeah.
Got some nudity here. Is that okay or should I not share?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
encourage it.
We promised nudity.
Oh, you encourage
Yeah,
it?
the-
There we go.
Every
Thumbs up if you want.
hit that
So you're
smash
familiar
smash
with
that
that.
like button with the boobs.
From
So that was the original cover, right?
yeah, it
And
was,
the
yeah.
record label said no.
Yeah,
Yeah.
good call by the record label.
Yeah, record label
Yeah.
says no.
They're like,
Pretty
no,
weird
we want to
stuff.
actually
Dude,
sell
you-
this at Walmart.
Duke, do you have a ring light like a professional YouTuber?
That is my son's.
Oh,
I noticed when I was doing this prior, I would look very yellow compared to everybody else. So my son let me borrow his ring light for the first
Wow.
time. So that's what that
no,
is.
I noticed Joe has one of those too. So he probably saw you or your
Big
son.
timer, he stole it.
He does have a ring light now.
Yeah. Oh, I
Joe.
I mean, he was showing records, so I clicked on a video and I saw the
That
ring
explains
light
something.
reflection.
Because I complained about a ring light on someone's video once. Because I don't like it when they put it so close that it's a
Goes in
definite
their
circle
eyes.
in the eyes.
Yeah.
And he like defending the ring light. Okay. So that explains the defense of the ring light.
By the
Anyways.
way, on your not on your last, sorry to interrupt, but not on your last episode, but I think the episode before that, when you started going on about AC/DC and how all the new stuff sucks, everything past the Razor's Edge sucks, and then you asked him, well, which AC/DC album did you get? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it. So then on that video, it's like their last live album from just a couple of years ago. I'm like,
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, I got one more. Last but not least, this is a heavy rock album here. I don't care what you guys say. This album, awesome. This is my Air Supply.
you are way into the
The
supply.
Ring Light.
You got the greatest hits. You get them
Well,
all.
this was the album that my father had. This exact one here. It's the same one that I have the tape. But I saw this at the record store for like $8, and I was like, I'm getting that. I don't care. I love this album. It's not the kind of music I typically listen to, but it's good stuff to me. And my wife
Especially
knows
when you're in
all
the
the words.
elevator, it's great. Dentist office, man. I got a bunch of teeth pulled.
I don't care what you
And
guys
when
say.
All Out of Love was in heavy rotation, and I remember like being traumatized because they yanked out all my baby teeth, and I heard
I dare you
All
to
Out
put
of Love
this
like
album
8
on.
times.
I dare you to put this album on and not sing along with some of these songs.
Oh
It's
yeah,
impossible.
of course. Yeah.
Come on. All right. That's it. I'm done.
What about that Billy Joel I saw in your
That's
was hiding
stuff. That's Tara stuff.
Oh, come on. That's good stuff.
She'll come on one day maybe and show her records.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Very
her
cool.
stuff. I don't like Billy Joel.
Oh.
What?
Yeah. I don't like Bob Dylan either. Sorry.
You're on the wrong channel for that.
It's worse than the remove button.
I hope Denise wasn't listening right now.
Denise luckily left a while ago,
Yeah.
but Miss Elba Bob is still holding in here.
She probably went to the restroom or something.
I was never exposed to him. My parents didn't listen to him. I started my musical interest as I showed you in the 80s with the rock stuff. I just never was exposed to him.
Everyone's been exposed to
defend
Bob
your
Dylan.
taste, buddy.
You can't not be exposed. He's been in so many films and background music here and there, and he's been a part of everyone's life. They just may or may not know it.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, he's not wrong, man. I was just watching a movie the other day, and some song comes on that I never heard. I'm like, is this Bob? And I did the Shazam thing, and sure enough, it was some Bob Dylan song I never heard of before.
Covered countlessly by so many artists. Anyways, I digress. This show is gaining some length. It's like a retro nonsense podcast. It's supposed to be 30 minutes.
30 minutes, yeah.
Always rings in somewhere.
Is that what we said?
I don't remember that. Yeah.
No way.
That was a pilot episode. Everybody knows the pilot episode. It gets you change it. You have
we said
certain
30-minute
actors.
intros.
Yes,
that I believe.
All right. Well, I'm still here. I don't mind going further as long as you guys are with me. Matt Bandy, do you want to carry the torch live further?
Yeah, I'm going to show this guy here that I got.
Right. We got this huge unboxing to happen. Come on.
Yeah, so I actually, my pre-cut here, so we're good to go. So this is a record by one of my favorite current bands, called Eternal Champion. They are a U.S. pattern metal band from the Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas area.
What kind of metal?
U.S. power metal. USPM. U.S. power metal. U.S. power metal. It's different from EU power metal, but that's
obviously
for
Bandy alert.
I've shown one Eternal Champion record and one Eternal Champion cassette on the show before. This record came out late 2020, but the vinyl release got pushed back due to something that happened at the press. So these finally started rolling out last week, and mine came in mail today. So
when you say power metal, is that like Pantera?
No.
Oh.
No, this is honestly, Kevin, I was actually going to recommend you check this record out. I think you'll like it a lot.
Okay.
So I got a shirt that came with it, but I'll get the record out here first. It came with a bunch. I got some other goodies here too. So packaged nice, and we got it says thank you, Matthew.
Oh, that's
it's,
nice.
Signed by I'm assuming this is Jason. Probably sent this out. Jason is the singer vocalist of this band. So that's an album cover.
Whoa.
Wow. My. I'm going to zoom in on that one.
I am I am rejuvenating.
So this is Raving Iron, and this art that's very prevalent here was done exclusively. They commissioned this for Ken Kelly was the artist who drew or painted this picture, and he's easier just to go look up his stuff. His artwork has adorned a lot of different novels, notably a lot of some of the later Conan the Barbarian stuff and other albums as well. But he's just a legendary fantasy artist, and so
like Red Sonja.
Yeah. And we got back of the band here. So this was put out on their label, they called Sword Worship, or which is actually Jason, his label, right here. Yeah, I played this a bunch, and they did a digital release because they got pushed back so much that since people weren't getting physical copies, they pushed up the actual release date for the digital format of it. So it's nice to have this on vinyl. I unfortunately didn't movies, and you got the Sword Worship logo here. I did out on the color vinyl on this. There was a limited release, and it went really quick. Like I was on it when this came out, but I unfortunately missed that. But that doesn't really matter. So, it might look cool, but the doesn't make a difference in the sound, right?
Right.
Look at that guitar on the back. It's kind of wild too, huh?
Yeah, it's like got an ovation headstock.
Yeah, it's weird. I got some live shots of the band. We got the lyrics here. So this isn't really a concept album, but the Jason, the lead singer and lyricist, he also wrote a book, which this came in the package too, called The God Blade, and here's the back here. So this is kind of a companion to the album. Like he's created this world within his records, and a lot of the songs have the due that are taking place in this universe where the book takes place. The cover art, the dragon, and this female here are a character that's in this story. So it's kind of this cool whole package thing. And yeah, I've talked about DMR books on here before, and so this came with the record as well.
Have you read that, Matt?
No, this just came in, in the my package today. So yeah, you could get this by itself, but when I ordered the record, I ordered a package with the record, this book. Got your patch here.
Mm-hmm. Now, is this a popular band? Like to get like a famous artist to do your cover? I mean, they have to be somewhat, right?
Well, they commissioned it. They paid for it.
Sure.
But within the underground heavy metal scene, especially the power metal scene, the Eternal Champion is like top notch. Then you got a pin here. I think this was just thrown in.
Jeez. Was this like just the price of the record and they threw all this extra stuff in, or did you buy like a deluxe?
No, this was like a package that came with it.
Okay.
The Bandy Deluxe Edition.
Yeah. They got my shirt here.
I like that Aussie font.
You know, when I ordered it, I was like, oh man, I didn't realize that I got a bunch of boobies on my shirt.
Yeah.
I don't know how much where this shirt's gonna get. Not when I'm out with the family or anything, you know.
Yeah, to church.
Yeah.
Yeah, a church shirt.
Yeah.
But I mean, you got your logos on the sleeve, and then you got the.
Man, that has sitcom episode
Rabbit
written
iron
all over
here.
it. Matt Bandy walking around in that shirt.
Right.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh yeah.
Oh man.
So yeah, I recommend
get-
this record to all you guys. It's so good. You'll like it. If you like heavy music, it's awesome. Yeah, definitely one of my favorite records that came out last year.
I could just picture young Jack Black showing up in a movie wearing that shirt. Like, most inappropriate spot.
What's the name of the album? I'm gonna write this down, Matt. What's the name of that album again? And it's
The Ravening Iron is the name of it. It is, unfortunately, it's not on Spotify. None of their stuff is on Spotify.
It must be on Bandcamp, though, right?
Ravening
It is on
Iron?
Bandcamp. Ravening Iron.
Okay, I'll just.
Oh,
do my best
YouTube?
trying to spell that.
It is on YouTube.
Yeah, it'll be
Ravening
on
Iron,
YouTube, yeah.
full LP official.
Ravening Iron.
It's only 37 minutes long.
That's good.
There you go.
Yeah. No, I didn't mean that as a knock. I'm just saying it's. Yeah, I know you are.
I like it.
Get in, get out.
That's right.
And what's the name of the band?
Eternal Champion.
Eternal Champion.
You got your
Argonaut.
hammer, so you know it's good. Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so check out DMR Books too. Good stuff.
I gotta say, that's pretty neat to have a themed album with a book and everything.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so, I've been following his music for years. Like, he grew up in the punk scene in Dallas, Texas, and I saw his bands when I was, we were roughly the same age, and I've been fans of his music. It's just funny that he transitioned into the music that he's doing now, or they are doing now.
Very cool. Well, thanks for opening that on the big show.
Yeah.
It got Miss Elba Bob. She was very excited by it, and she was saying that the art is resembling the Playboy cartoon ladies that Playboy would have in the 70s. And she even looked it up. It was called the Femlin, drawn by Leroy Neiman.
It's like a female gremlin. That's what you said. The combo of female and gremlin. Femlin.
So what's funny, when I had an image of this record that was on something else that my daughter saw, and she kind of made a face at it, and I tried to convince her that she actually had a bikini on, but it was just really small. You couldn't see it, but she didn't buy it.
She didn't buy that shit.
Yeah, I wasn't buying that, yeah.
Well, they feed the ladies well in that whatever realm they're in. They're
Very
doing
healthy
good.
looking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. If that's it for Matt,
Yep.
throw it back over to Chris Roberts. If he has anything else,
I'm
Let's
going
throw
to
it
go
there.
ahead and defer. I know we're running long, and
All right.
the rest
Kevin?
of it's
I got a
long
question.
story crap.
I got a question for Kevin. I see this week that Greta Van Fleet has put out their latest album. There's lots of stuff on YouTube. They're doing interviews. They're putting tracks out. It sounds good. It looks good. I had my toes tapping when I was listening to bits of it. The CD, you can get the CD for only $12.99. I thought that was very fair. The vinyl, $40 for the vinyl.
That's expensive. Is it just that's just a single disc?
The vinyl gets 2 discs, but I don't think it's like for reasons of length, but for reasons of quality.
Right.
And it may or may not have. It's got really cool artwork in the gatefold, and it might have a few page booklet with like Matt Bandy style art in there, which looks cool. But like $40, and Neil Young put out an album last week or recently, Young Shakespeare, $42 for the vinyl. Like, what? How are we to buy vinyl? That's way too much money.
Got to go to Walmart.
And that's the thing. The
gotta ship
quality
the
of the
stuff.
vinyl might be shit as well.
Well, have you seen the price of gas lately? I mean,
Everything's going up.
It's all going up, man.
All right. So, Kevin, are you going to be getting the new?
Yeah,
Batman
probably.
Puma?
Yeah, I think it's not out yet though, right?
No, it's out now.
Okay, because I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it and locked it in at a cheaper price, but I don't.
Always
have
ahead
it
of the
yet, so-
game, Kevin.
Yeah, like if you pre-order, you usually get a little
Couple bucks.
cheaper discount. So I don't know how much it was. I'd have to look, but because it was quite a while ago.
You got the vinyl coming?
Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool. to
He
see.
just said that, dude. He
I
locked
heard-
it in.
He said he picked it up. I wasn't sure which format.
he didn't lock in the CD. He locked in the vinyl.
I
That's
have
what
the
Kevin
others
does.
on vinyl, so it just
Yeah.
like to get that one on CD would be.
Ridiculous.
Kevin,
It would be a
did you
bill
get,
move.
where did you get your Krungbin records? I've actually been asking about them. I want to get those. I really am into them a lot.
You gotta luck into it, man. They go fast. Like every time we go into a store and buy it, the guy behind the counter says, "Oh, I see you got the Krungbin." Like, because they know too. They're looking for it too. So
I went to a record store recently and asked the guy. I said, "You ever hear of Krungbin?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I heard of them, but
He just
I don't
laughed
think
at you.
no." I think he said they come and go quick.
yeah, they're
yeah,
very
so-
popular, man. I'm
He was
surprised.
like, "Is that the band Buried on Mars was talking about on the thing?"
it's all Circa Sims. That was her
I'm
discovery.
Really into them. They're fantastic.
But for Christmas one year, the first couple I ordered from Europe, I think through Discogs, and then the rest we've just lucked out. We were at a record store and we found them, and it's like you saw the prices of them. The last ones I showed that were, one was $16, but the rest were all like $20 or $30. So
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
I do have some stuff to show, so I know everyone's tired, but I did order. So this is a band, Coney Hatch, from the '80s, and they've never had a live album, so they just put out a live album. The original print run is Bandy level of print run. It was there was only 50 copies of this sent out.
Ooh.
But they sold their 50 copies fairly quickly, so they put out another 100. Let's see, another 250. They said, "Well, what the heck? Let's put out 250 more." So I got number 53 out of 300. Railways.
Nice.
And look at that, they signed it for.
Cool.
Wow.
So it's not as nice as of a cover as Matt Bandy's Boobies, but I like the kind of bootleg look and feel of this. So I haven't even opened it up yet. It just came in the mail yesterday. So yeah, there's yet another website out there. What the heck was the name of the website? They were another Canadian company that's doing their own prints.
Yeah.
I'm blanking on the name of it. So yeah, this is kind of no gatefold, just a gate, as Duke likes to call it. And you can see on the back here, every time they sign something, you get little smudges on there. So you get a nice little bill here for the show. With your track listings, because there doesn't seem to be too much.
At the El Macambo.
Yeah. So this is very. So this is side A and B. There's nothing on there. This is very bootleggy. Very bootleggy. So I don't. Yeah, there's no way. You're just gonna have to put it down and figure out which side is which.
You got to write your own.
Yeah.
Does it not say it on Matrix? Look at the Matrix. It might say.
There is
like
nothing in the Matrix.
Oh,
Oh
like
wait,
a blank tape.
Matt Bandy. We're running late here, and you're making me look at the Matrix.
And he put the light on.
Yeah, I got the light working now. I can't read this at all. It's not working at all. I see that. Wait, maybe that's just a smudge. I don't think there's anything in the Matrix. Yeah, that was just a smudge.
So you're saying this is some Canadian pressing company that's...
Okay, yeah, it says B in there.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, good thinking, Matt Bandy. Yeah, what the heck? It was Rock Paper Merchant. So they had a bunch of Canadian bands on there, including Pony Hatch. There was Lee Aaron, 5440. I can't think of who else. There was a bunch of them there. I don't know if it's anything that you'd be into, Bill, but and then they threw in a little beer cooler, can cooler thing with the Coney Hatch on it.
I like their that logo's cool.
Yeah, that was their logo since the 80s. So I don't know, cool. I think they're a cool band. 80s rock kind of thing, not like that MTV style, but like more 4-on-4 kind of rock. Okay, and if you can just bear with me, I'm just going to quickly go through my Queen records so I can put them away. They've been sitting down here for a while. So the first one I have is this is their third album, Sheer Heart Attack. This is my favorite Queen album. I had this on cassette. Yeah, I had this on cassette, and I would listen to this over and over again. Let's see what we got in here. This is the sleeve, the John Deacon and the Freddie Mercury, Roger Taylor and Brian May.
Mm.
I hear people yawning.
God damn it! I missed it. I missed it too.
Quick as I can. Here.
No, take your time. That's cool.
These are just black records. So,
what's it say in the matrix of that record?
This is Day at the Races.
Tara's a big Queen fan. She loves Queen.
Yeah, well, she's got good taste. Billy Joel and Queen. Just got to get her off that Dave Matthews Band. And
no, never.
We'll be copacetic.
She'll fight you on that one.
Oh no. It's time. It's time to let it go. I always like that little symbol in there. This one is an original from back in the day. It's a Night at the Opera. This was my buddy Frank's sister's, I think. It was just lying around at his house.
Yank.
He didn't listen to Queen. And I said, Frank, are you going to do anything with that? He's like, nah, you can take that stupid thing. I'm like, all right. So I had myself.
See, I think that's where a lot of my records went.
What do you mean? To Frank's sisters?
Kevin.
Oh no, I would never take. I've seen the condition of your records. I got better taste than that.
That's a goink.
Here's News of the World.
Who's the artist that did that cover?
That's a good question. I have no idea. But I have always loved it. I always thought it was so creepy.
Yeah, it's cool.
Like just, I don't know. Just creepy stuff. So it opens up like that.
Oh, yeah.
And then on the inside, you got all these, like this guy right here. He looks really scared. Really scared. Terrified. Like just and the way he got their eyes and everything too.
Yeah.
Really cool stuff. And it's weird because the album itself, it's all like, we will rock you. We are the champions. It's nothing like the artwork. But this is, of course, a re-release. They're all re-releases except for Night at the Opera. Then we got Innuendo. This was a later one from 89, I think. This one has I'm Going Slightly Mad on it. This was the last one Freddie Mercury did with Queen before he passed away. Show Must Go On. Very I'm almost done here. Got a freaky artwork there. And there they are with a very sick Freddie Mercury there.
Sorry, Kevin.
No,
It's not
I
you at
understand.
all, dude. I promise.
I've been holding back.
No,
myself.
you're
okay.
good.
That's it. That's it for the Queen. All done.
Very cool. That's a lot of Queen records.
Well, it's not even a dent. They got a whole. I need 1 and 2 and hot space. I got a few that I need to collect.
When I was putting some records away, I found a Queen record in my collection. I didn't even know I had any. So
Was it the Game? I bet you have the Game.
I can't remember.
That's my guess. Bill has the Game.
The Game. I'll check that out for next week.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So supersize episode, 2 hours and 30 minutes. What a fun time. Duke, thanks so much for coming back.
Wow, thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
Good times.
Can't wait till you get your lovely wife on, bring the kids back on.
Yeah.
Do your record repair. We'll give you a whole segment of record repair, record player repair.
Well, I got a lot to learn. I'm a noob here. So I'm going to have questions for you next time on what to look for and how to clean my records and clean my needle and all that kind of stuff. But we'll save that for another episode.
Surely.
I want to hear from the experts.
Kevin will take over. He'll let you know.
I'm sure he will.
Yeah.
All right. Matt Bandy, thanks for bringing the boobs tonight. Appreciate it. Yeah.
I brought one boob. There was one boob.
Yeah, you did.
That's true. Hey, don't forget about my boob.
I think the left was the one.
Chris Roberts, good seeing you again, sir. Thanks for joining us. Kevin, good job again.
Thank you.
To the listenership, thanks so much for joining us again on this episode of the Vinyl Collection. Thanks everyone in the chat. Thanks Miss Elba Bob for sticking with us for the entire time. Holy, that's a supporter right there. That's pretty good. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll be back maybe next week, maybe the week after. We've got to talk to everyone, figure out when we're available, but we will be back. The Vinyl Collection will return. Let me just try to set this thing up for the outro. And anything else? You guys got anything else you want to say? Oh, we promoted Retro Nonsense Podcast. If you like those two, Duke and Chris Roberts, definitely download that anywhere you get podcasts. Retro Nonsense Podcast. Half an hour long episodes. Really good.
Yep.
Strict rule.
Yeah, listen to him. Multiple sittings.
And Kevin, of course, Retro Fandango Podcast is always happening. And check everyone else out. We're on Twitter. We're on Letterboxd. Got lots of movie reviews out there. Jesus, the Oscars this weekend. So I don't know.
Thank goodness. It's done. Friggin' award season has been crazy.
Yeah. Other than that, thanks everyone. We'll see you next time. Thanks everyone. Appreciate you.
Bye.